pasted
We're
what
overwriting
you,
his stream.
That'd be so great if we like interrupted like one of the famous streamers.
It just depends which one we interrupt.
All of a sudden, people are watching Shroud, and all of a sudden, it's TFG Radio.
It would be the worst in a good way.
That would be the best.
It probably would.
All of a sudden, like 10,000 new players with Warhammer. You're
People are
welcome,
like,
GW.
oh my gosh, Dr. Disrespect went live at 8:16 at night. Whoa. What's these three guys?
It says he's hosting them. I mean, I guess we're into this now.
Why are there two guys talking and somebody painting things?
Yeah, it's a new video game.
Yeah.
Watch paint dry.
This is our new IRL video game.
Watch paint dry.
This is as for real as it gets. VR for real.
Literal real life simulator where you spend most of your time just bored.
Like being at work sometimes.
The best, though, is when in the game you get to play Farmville.
Dude,
That would be pretty awesome.
on Steam, you know how you get the suggestions? I'm getting ones like Farm Simulator.
Yeah.
No, that's apparently supposed to be really good.
Sure.
I mean, I'm not about to play it, but it's supposed to be really good.
The best I've ever seen is the Onion's article, like, Blizzard released World of Warcraft. Where you play as the guy playing World of Warcraft.
There was it was Burke Black, the guy who's the pirate on Twitch.
Yes.
Have you guys seen that guy?
Yeah, you showed them to me.
Yeah.
No? I mean,
He's pretty entertaining because he actually plays Warhammer.
He was playing the Warhammer.
No, but he plays like the literal Warhammer, like
Okay.
the miniatures. And so he's fun to watch because he was playing Total War Warhammer, right? But then he played that farm simulator game one time, and I was watching. I was like, "This is actually kind of interesting." I'm not about to buy this for $19.99 and play it, but I'll watch you play it for a couple of minutes. That's fine.
I accept this.
Yeah.
This level of interaction.
Hello, Goran.
Oh, I forgot the dog at the end of that. It's supposed to be Yo Dog, right?
Sure.
Did I mess that up? Is that what it's supposed to do?
I just perpetually never remember who's who.
Goraim's always around doing. He subs a lot of the time.
So he's cool.
Yeah, he's a cool guy. We like him.
Money equals cool.
Yeah.
Doesn't money always equal cool? I'm confused by your statement.
That's what the hookers tell me.
Yikes! You're gonna be John Cook when you're older.
That's fine.
Oh,
Life goal.
Like,
That means I'll outlive
That's
everybody.
not a good life goal. No, none of that's a good
He
life
does
goal.
appear to me to have lived a life that is too long.
Oh wow! I hope he's watching. Sometimes he watches.
I mean, I barely know the guy.
I've met him before.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, when I played when I was at War Games Con.
Yeah, I literally know him just from online interactions and being like, all right.
No,
He's awesome. I hope he goes to LVO.
Yeah. You should.
All right. Are you ready, Adam?
I am ready.
Okay, you ready to try this one?
Sure.
Ready? Can you see this?
No,
Or are you blind?
I am half blind.
7.
So you can look over here.
Oh, that's why.
7.
I told you I can't see on my left side, and you're on my left side.
Well, we need to switch this up somehow. I need to sit over there then.
I'll go like this.
Okay. All right, ready? Look over
I'm
here.
not legally blind on my left side.
got
but
this
it is hard
one.
for me on this
And
side.
we got this one.
Okay. And then that one. Hey, Safety, thank you. That was very kind of you.
Thank you, Safety, for subscribing. Hey, everybody. Adam here again for another episode. I'm joined again by John on the Wheels of Steel over there.
Yep.
And then today we have Tom. For those that have been listening or following us, everyone knows that, and we're going to talk about SoCal Open today. You know that Tom was training, put in quotation marks, I don't know how much he could train
Actually,
in 40K.
I played more games these last, 4 months than I've probably
ever?
played. Yeah.
Ray already wants us to discuss the hangar train. We've
Yes.
only
You know
been
what?
lined for like 4 minutes.
Like any other good news show, we'll wait that till the end, right before the puff piece.
Yeah.
But
Lord.
unfortunately, that was at the end, so we'll have to wait till literally the end.
Yeah.
There's actually a lot of to talk about today regarding SoCal Open and a few other things that have come up. October's officially over.
Now we're in November.
November.
Oh, don't worry. There's some good orc memes on the next slide or on the next
Sure,
scene.
I'm
sure.
excited. Thank you, Danny. It was better when we couldn't see Tom, isn't it
That's
always?
who Danny is. Screw you, Danny. I couldn't remember your handle.
You weren't going to say anything until you knew who it was?
Yeah, I just wanted to make sure I knew I was insulting. It's the internet in this era. After
That's
all.
fair enough.
People will give me a Twitter account and then make me regret it 10 years later.
I had to get a Twitter account for work.
What?
I was on when we. Okay, so there's going to require a little bit of background.
Those are the best stories.
So there's a tech committee at work.
Okay.
Right, and so I was put on the tech committee.
Okay.
Because clearly I know what I'm doing because I can run a super professional stream like the one that you're currently watching.
Oh my god.
And that was sarcasm. And so at one point, there was like the guy who was leading tech committee was like, yeah, I want everybody to get a Twitter account because you can follow people and you can get good ideas about education and technology and education, all that stuff. So I made a Twitter account. And long story short, I regret ever getting a Twitter account.
Yeah. I think I had a Twitter account for a grand total of like a month and then realized like I don't use this. Why the heck
There's a
do
couple
have
people
it?
I follow and I'm just like, I don't need to know what you think.
Yeah, I just don't care.
I had
You're way more toxic on Twitter than Facebook. What's wrong with you?
I had
You're
a
toxic
Twitter
enough on Facebook.
I think I used my Twitter account for like a week, and then like I don't have time for this, and then I just closed it.
Yes, that's also common.
But so today we'll talk about SoCal Open and some of the things that happened.
Mm-hmm.
Some other things we can't talk about.
Yeah, we'll land that plane when we get to it.
Oh god!
Nice. That was good. I like that. Well done.
Boo!
Sorry, I was throwing Ray a bone.
Boo!
I'm sure Ray appreciated it.
Yeah.
Well, Ray had to play on that table.
Yeah.
Oh, did he really?
That's why. He
Oh,
wants,
that's right, 'cause
that's
he
part of the
couldn't get
reason why
the,
he wants me to rage on it.
He
That's
couldn't
why-
land his planes in it or something, right?
That's why he lost. But I'm going to say it's because Ray's a bad player.
Mm.
So
That's why I lost.
I'm sure he'll agree with you in chat. I'm sure this won't be an issue.
so as you know, a lot of our team went down there
Yes.
for the weekend,
Not me.
but not John.
I'm bitter.
So we'll just gloss over that.
Yeah.
Gloss over my bitter rage.
But Tom, it was a goal that he set for himself back in August that we mentioned, and he was playing a lot of games and basically training to try and get best Tau
God, I listened
at
to
the
a lot
at the
of
very
Journey.
least.
I listened to like so much Journey getting ready for this tournament.
And we definitely need to congratulate you because you got best Tau, right?
No.
Okay, that's at the don't ruin the ending.
Oh.
No, I didn't. But that's fine.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah.
This is Rocky 1.
This is
This is Rocky 1?
Yeah.
Yes, this
Got
is
it,
not
got it,
Rocky
got it.
3.
Yeah.
No, Rocky 3 is the one where he like gets beat up by the Russian guy, right?
No.
That's
No.
Rocky 4?
That was Rocky 1 he loses.
He
Yeah,
does
to
lose.
to
Or
Creed,
ties,
to
yes.
Apollo Creed.
Rocky
loses
2 he
Creed.
wins.
Mm-hmm.
Rocky 3 is with
Mr.
isn't
T.
it Mr. TT.
That's Mr. T.
Which is probably the best out of all of them.
What?
Yes. Oh, come on.
Oh, the best one is when Apollo Creed
Clubber.
gets killed.
Clubber,
by
what
the
do you
Russian guy.
what are your thoughts on this? What do you think's going to happen to this fact?
I thought this was,
Pain.
I thought this was an exhibition. And then if he dies, he dies.
I'm just trying to
It's the best.
remember if I've seen 2 or 3.
I think, and then Rocky 4 was the Apollo Creed and the James Brown, and then Rocky 5
Is
was
James Brown in that one, really?
yeah, he's the one living in America.
Rocky 5 was the one where he came. Wait, that
I
was
don't-
like
That was the
reboot.
old man Rocky.
Yeah, old man. I saw
Yeah.
that one. I know I saw that one.
Old man Rocky with the young punk.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Oh no, I think I've seen 2. I can't remember. It's been a long time.
Jesus.
I know I've seen at least 3 of them.
So
Which was the
Anyway.
one where he fights the alien in the jungle?
That's To Catch a Predator. It's on Dateline.
Sweet. I love that one.
Yeah, it's that movie.
that's a different muscle bound.
That's a classic.
That one, although it's the same guy who plays Creed, is also in that.
That's
Yes.
that's why I'm saying this.
Oh my God! So Tom was training hard
Yeah.
to win best Tau with Jeff. Jeff was the one coaching him.
Yeah, and I will give a shout out to Jeff insofar as I learned a lot, and he was a great coach. Yelled at me a lot.
Actually, he did yell at
He did
him a
actually
lot.
yell a
in
lot.
the beginning, and I deserve that.
in person and in chat. It's the best.
No, but in all honesty, no. He's a really great guy, knowledgeable player, and I think when we get to the full recap of all of it, one lesson I'll impart now is having somebody to like talk to about your game and really just be brutally honest with you really just helps. It's
Yeah.
insanely helpful.
So,
Dude, you suck. You need to get better. Okay, that helps.
we'll
Great
start-
advice. Thanks, Coach.
We'll kind of start with me only because
Put it
I
up
have
in.
a story for the pre
Oh.
San Diego.
Freeze.
So Did you-
This is about how it takes you 27 hours to get to San
Yes.
Diego.
Yeah.
stop ruining things, John.
He's like a little kid. He's
I
like-
know.
I'm distracted by my painting.
He's just bitter because he didn't get to go and go
I
to
am
the fabulous
super
barbecue.
bitter that I did not get to go do the
Um,
barbecue.
Tom, you had no issues getting to San Diego?
Nope.
No. So
It's not that hard to get to San Diego. You
No.
just drive down the freeway.
yes,
That's kinda what we
would
did.
you would think so.
Right.
So my ride was Alan Hernandez.
Oh, that's why this is a story.
It's okay. There's the reason I like driving with Alan and going on trips with Alan because there's always a story. For those that don't know Alan, it's Alan Hernandez, Blackmore. If you ever see him on forums or even on the Twitch stream, but we always a lot of times we travel together.
Whoa, wait a second. What's a forum?
I said if you were ever remember if you're ever on the forums.
Oh, okay. You mean like that DACA forum that doesn't relevant
I just
anymore?
said forum. I'm not going to mention forums.
I feel like you're the one trying to drag that out there.
Yeah.
I am.
I don't feel like we're like trying to dodge a conversation.
Just like to point out the irrelevancy of things.
Axis wants to know if you're washing with Agrath.
No, this is Seraphim Sepia. Seraphim Sepia. It's slightly lighter. It's really good for golds.
Yep.
So, Alan, we talk. So there's two reasons I always go with Alan. One, he always books a room.
Yes.
Two, there's always a story
Mm-hmm.
from the whole weekend, not just like one incident. So Alan, he says he's picked me up at 1. Fine. I get a message about like 11. Says, hey, I'm not going to leave till like 1. I'll pick up at 2. I'm like, all right, whatever, an hour. About 12:30, 1 o'clock, I talked to Jeff, and Jeff says, hey, I can give you a ride if you want. So this is where my mistakes begin.
Nice.
And it
Self-awareness is good.
and I'm just gonna point this out now that this is more or less a theme for the whole weekend.
With Alan.
No, with me making mistakes, making decisions. I probably the wrong decisions.
Perfect.
Okay.
Got it.
Oh, wait, I mean, I don't think I made, but so I said, no, I'm just going for Alan. He should be here soon. Okay, cool, right? I get a message from him with a picture of the freeway, and if everybody knows the freeways in Los Angeles, they get crowded from noon till like 6.
The next
From noon
morning.
till midnight.
Yeah, or all the time.
Yeah.
So, and especially going my direction, where he's from. And then attached with that picture is hey, the phone says I'll be there at 3:30.
Perfect.
I'm like, all right, I should have went with Jeff. So he shows up at 4.
This is only mistake number 1?
Yeah.
But it's got like sub bullets.
Yeah, this is
Mistake 1.A.
Yeah.
Mistake 1.B.
So he shows up at 1. As soon as he gets in, he's like, oh, okay, I need to make a couple stops on the way to San Diego. I'm like, all right. So we stop at Comic Quest, which is in I think Lake Forest.
Huge Oz theme.
He's looking for a model, can't find it. Instead, just buy dice.
Seriously? I didn't hear that part of the story. Okay.
Yes, he was looking for a solitaire to replace the one he lost.
And instead he bought dice.
So because we couldn't find it, he had a
Stack
coupon.
it to be a little solid.
He had a coupon.
They weren't dice off of eBay?
No, no. Otherwise, he would have went 6-0.
Heyo.
He had a coupon, so he wanted to use the coupon. I don't know if that had an expiration date or what, but he wanted to use the
And
coupon.
the expiration date in his mind, probably. I gotta use this coupon! God, he's
So-
such an old man. He had a coupon he needed to use? What the hell is a coupon?
Gift certificate.
There are
or
probably
whatever.
people listening to this who are younger who are like, what's a coupon?
You mean like Amazon?
Yeah.
The only reason why.
Digital coupon.
Is it like a code I have to put? How do you use a code at a
Hey,
store?
somebody 3D printed the save icon. You mean a floppy disk?
Okay, continue.
So sad.
Yeah.
So okay, we can do that. We leave, and then he has to stop at the location because Alan's running a team tournament next month or in December.
Mm-hmm.
So he had to put a deposit. So he had to do that.
Allegedly.
So then the last one, which was the kicker, we had to stop at Costco because he was looking for potato salad.
Oh, so good.
Well, okay, contextually though, to defend Alan for 1 second, because this is the only time this will ever happen in the history of this podcast. You were having a barbecue and you needed to bring something for it.
But there were stores like nearby.
I understand.
That's where we
I'm
got
just
our
saying,
stuff.
just for context, proper context.
Instead, he brought like muffins and cookies and whatever.
Hey, that's still good for a barbecue. I'd eat that.
I ate so many macadamia nut cookies. It's ridiculous.
So we leave at 4. We finally get there at 8.
Ridiculous.
So that was the adventure just to get there.
So when did you actually get there?
8
Yeah, we left at 6:45 and got there at
7.
we got there at 9. So, and the only reason we were delayed is because we stopped at the room, then stopped at the Vaughn's nearby.
So to recap for 1 second, why do you drive with Alan again?
For this exact story.
Okay, good.
It's kind of like, it's painful, but it's a good pain because he gets to share it.
But it's a good pain. So, and just to hear him rant, I should record him when he...
You should.
When
We
he
tried to do
rants.
that on the way to BAO, but we didn't. We failed epically.
Oh, that's right.
We thought we pressed record, and
Yeah,
we didn't.
that's right. That was
So
a good
On
one.
the
Okay.
top, forgot to hit record.
Yep.
So, for day 1, I'll go through my first 3, and then
Go for it.
you can go through yours. So, first game was against Luke, who's now on our team.
Oh, is
Yeah.
that how he got added to the team?
Yeah. If the requirement was being on the team was just to beat me, we'd have like 3 times the
I
size
almost
of the
when
the
he got
team.
added to the team chat, I almost put the gif of the little kid turning around going, "Who are you?"
No.
Well,
Luke
But I
has been
was like,
coming.
don't be a jerk right away. He's a new guy.
Yeah.
Luke has been coming to the store tournaments for a while now.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's also one
So
of
So
the,
I'd know him if I saw him.
You know him
Yeah,
if you know if you saw him and if you showed up to the
he's
tournament.
he's very mellow. He's got a mustache goatee combo. He's got a ponytail.
Oh yeah, okay. I
And
know
he
who
plays
that was.
Nurgle.
He plays Nurgle and he paints
Yeah.
like some of the best stuff you've ever
I know
seen.
who you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah.
Like the guy paints like human-looking eyes. It's terrifying.
So we got a hobbyist now on the team. which is
Yeah, but he's
Another
good.
one, yeah.
But he's good too.
another one of like our 15 hobbyists.
Yeah, we're a hobby club. We're gonna win best hobby. That's the team. That's a
Can't
team
even do
club.
that.
Is that
Isn't it?
that a team?
Team hobby?
Is there a team, hobby?
I don't think there is.
No, I'm saying is there like a team hobby prize?
I don't think
Like the
No.
team with the most
I don't think
Most-
there is.
with the highest hobby score?
We can lobby for it until we start losing all the time. Then we'll lobby against it.
Well, yeah, of course, though.
So I played against
That's the
Luke,
way politics works.
which is basically the Magnus and Morty, Plague Burst Crawlers, the Death Shroud Terminators to tank wounds, Demon
Morty.
Prince, anybody, because you can do it for the Demon Prince.
Oh.
Yeah, I can.
He did it for the Demon Prince when I charged it with a Gallant. Demon Prince still died because I just shot it.
Right.
But
Oh, you lived combat.
yeah, that's more or less what happened to the Demon Prince. But he went first. Warp timing Magnus doesn't care about screens.
Not really.
So
I've heard that's
Unless the screen is super thick.
no, I only have the 3 squads really.
Right. What I'm saying is unless you're playing against somebody with a super thick screen,
Yeah.
Warp Time doesn't care about that.
So he smashed one of the Gallants.
Yo, bro, that screen is thick.
Thick THICC.
Yeah.
He smashed one of the Gallants.
Guard's gonna be looking fine.
Tried to shoot it at Magnus. At one point, Magnus had 1 wound left, so I still had my Castellan to go in for close combat because I threw it in there because I had to. Otherwise, he's going to die anyway.
Yeah.
I charged stuff with the Castellan. It's not bad.
Well,
It's not great. It's not bad.
I hit 5 times and I rolled 1s and 2s for the wounds.
Oh, that's bad.
So Magnus is there with 1 wound left. He kills off this Castellan.
Have you ever considered retirement?
After this
That was a
weekend,
leap.
probably.
That is a leap, good sir.
No, I still
Damn.
got to pump up numbers for our tournament. So I got to show up. Not that I play them. So, no, I just need to
Ray's
spike.
complimenting your meme game, by the way.
Sweet.
Only reason.
Yes.
He's fist pumping.
I live for this, Ray.
Oh,
So
God.
thank you. I appreciate it.
So game 1, I think I scored 16 to. I think he was in the mid 20s.
Mm-hmm.
Not much I can do. I threw the Gallant up front still. Kit was able to kill the Demon Prince, Death Shroud Terminators.
Mm-hmm.
But in the end, the Smash Captains didn't do too much.
Death Shroud Terminators. You weren't playing Don Husen?
No,
Okay.
he didn't bring that. He didn't bring that list. He brought a different list that didn't
Yeah.
perform as well.
But we all knew what it was because he put it up, like 3 days before. So that's how everyone was able to beat him.
He put his list
Sure.
up 3 days before, and it wasn't either a meme or an advertisement.
No, that's what you do now. So game 1 for me.
For the time being.
For
Thanks, John Lennon.
I don't know what's happening.
so that was game 1. Game 2 was against Custodes. No, it wasn't Custodes. It was Grey Knights and Adeptus Mechanicus.
Oof.
And when I saw the list,
So I play Imperium, but the worst choices possible.
well, when I talked to him, he
wasn't playing Imperial Fist.
He wasn't. He was. Damn, you do well in one tournament, and all of a sudden you're like an expert on everything.
Yeah. I got my confidence, man. It's finally here to stay, and you're gonna hate me for it.
No, it's not gonna be here to stay. You're gonna
no.
tank on one. And,
Oh.
well, you're playing. Well, we'll discuss that later. But it was. So I was looking at his list beforehand. The whole time I'm thinking to myself, what am I missing? Because it was 2 Dread Knights, 2 Razorback with assault cannons,
Okay.
a bunch of purifiers and interceptors.
Inceptors?
Or Incept. I don't know.
Do they have the bolters or the plasmas?
Sure.
Okay, what we're talking about is Grey Knights.
It's
so
Grey
let's
Knights.
just
It's
move on.
not. It's no Primaris. They don't get. They
I'm
don't
sorry,
get Primaris.
I'm sorry.
Stop ruining it, Tom.
We'll just move on because it's Grey Knights and it's irrelevant.
Yeah, and then he had 2 battalions of Mechanicus, and all it was the Dominuses plus Rangers or Vanguard guys. That was it.
So you're like, what's the catch?
Yes, and the whole time, and then when I played, I'm like, oh, there's no catch. not to be mean, but
Right.
Yeah.
It just
expected-
literally was what it was.
It was what it was.
That's happened. Like I've played games where I'm like, okay, wait, I don't know this as well as I'd like. What's the deal here? And then it's like,
I thought maybe a page was. I thought page.
Yes, Ray.
So I didn't know if there was like a page missing with a knight
Yeah.
or something. So I didn't know what was
Or
going
Shadow
on.
Sword.
Or Shadow Sword, or just anything. So I was a bit taken aback. But he said he was just playing, he's just getting back into the competitive
Yeah.
scene.
That's cool.
So he was just like trying out these lists
Fine.
or
There's
whatever.
nothing wrong with getting back into it.
So I happened to win that one, and he's thinking of like running an event. So he's trying to get
get the
you
feel
know,
for it.
for a tournament.
Yes, if you're going to run events, you need to play the game.
It helps.
It's kind of important.
Yes.
It helps a lot. So yeah, and so I told him just message the page and we'll promote his event because he wants it to be like a GT, something
Cool.
right before LVO.
It's going to be
like
local?
Yeah, he's local. I think it's Orange County.
Okay.
So he may want to do. So he hasn't decided if he's going to do it yet or not.
So it
but
should
he's
be an
thinking of
event our
doing something.
teammates show up to try to win.
So he's hoping to do one like right before LVO as like a last chance GT type of thing.
Yeah.
Preparing
'Cause
for
we don't-
LVO GT.
Yeah, because we don't have anything like that locally here.
No.
No.
We have local RTTs that are like, hey, prep for the LVO. But we don't have like
Yeah.
Yeah.
actual.
So
We're not that lit.
no, not yet. So that was game 2. Game 3 was against another Mechanicus player,
Wow.
but he had the guys with the snipers.
Vanguard.
Yeah, 2
Or,
of those.
or
another
Rangers.
guy. Sure.
I can't remember.
2 guys with those 2 squads of those. A bunch of the mini robots, those Castellans.
The
Castellans.
Castellans.
Sure.
They're not mini though. They're beefy though.
Well, compared to
Compared to
Oh.
a Castellan.
yes.
Yeah,
Compared to a
Castellan.
Castellan, the
like-
Castellans. God, GW.
So
I'm pretty diverse like P. Come
so
on.
that
Seriously, you can literally make up languages. Can you please just pick something that's not the same?
yeah. So that third one, he only had 3 of them though.
Only 3 of them.
Only 3.
Mm.
And that was with Cody. Was that Cody? Yeah, that was Cody. And then Cody also had he had the Knight Valiant,
Okay.
which for
The
those that don't
harpoon.
know is the one with the harpoon that does 10 damage and D3 mortal wounds if it's not dead.
How many things did it poon?
We'll get into that.
Uh
There's no uh-oh.
oh. Oh.
Then
No.
the flamer that does like 3d6 shots. And he took the relic flamer that does
2 damage each instead of 1.
Yeah, I think that's what it is.
Yeah.
And then the regular stuff that mech has, and then he took he has 2 other termites,
Oh yeah.
and he's the guy that if you've been following either the Mechanicus page or some of the other pages, he's the guy that took the one termite, cut it in half, and
Which-
put one as going into the ground and one coming out of the ground and on a base that is about the same dimension.
Oh yeah, that's cool.
Which
As well.
I saw that. That was
yeah.
fun.
I was like, that's actually really. That's like splitting up your Nurglings on hard mode.
Yeah.
So
That's definitely hard
He
mode.
said the scariest part was putting it through the bandsaw because it was like $100 model
Yeah.
that he was about to
Like,
cut.
Because it's forgeable,
I'm doing
right?
this because I love you.
and then getting cancer from inhaling the resin from the bandsaw.
And then 10 of the electro priests that have the jazz hands.
Axis will dial 911 if you don't comment every 10 minutes. He's repairing his beer fridge, and so if he stops typing, it's because he got shocked or something. Or you drank too much. I mean, at that point too, you'll still need it.
So it's the guys with the jazz hands that do pretty good damage. They actually have Hammer of Wrath. It's not called that, but it's basically
They have Ruststalkers?
No, the jazz hand guys.
Oh, Electro Priest, yeah.
The Fulgurite, I guess.
The Fulgurite.
Is it the Fulgurite ones? Yeah. That basically literally have jazz hands. If you look at the model. So
we're from Mars.
So what's kind of neat with what they do is when they assault a unit, they have literally Hammer of Wrath. You roll 1 die for each guy, and on the 6th, the unit takes a mortal wound.
That's pretty good.
But if they charge multiple units, they can choose which unit to get to hit. It's not what units they come in contact with. It's whatever unit they want.
Oh, so you hit like 2 different screens with everybody. You can choose to put it all on one screen.
Yeah, if you hit them with at least one model, you can choose all the hits to go there.
That's pretty good.
So it's just not bad, especially if you spike high.
I heard mortal wounds are good.
Yeah. And so he had 2 units of those along with some guys that go inside. I didn't care. But what happened was he ended up going first. He actually charged towards my line with the Valiant. Used the harpoon, bounced off. I made my invulnerable save on my... Because he targeted my Castellan as Kingslayer.
Okay.
So he shot at the Castellan.
What's up, back Jack Warren? Jack Warren. Hey, how you doing, man?
So please stop.
Are you like singing the Rolling Stones song?
No. That's what it sounds
no,
like.
it's easier. I was channeling my inner Justin Roiland.
Oh, please. So he ended up shooting at the guys. He ended up coming towards my line. He didn't really hurt the Castellan or he did a couple wounds, whatever. I fired back and ended up and he actually charged my gallant, one of my gallants. And I'm like, okay, it probably was the best move because it was either going to die towards his line, or if it's going to die, maybe it will die near me and wound my stuff.
Yeah.
Which it did, and I think it killed like a bunch of scouts and stuff when it blew up. Spoilers. So the gallant attacks, and then he didn't realize that the chainsaw...
We don't do that here. I'm going to be Black Panther Wakanda meme. We don't do that here.
So I used the chainsword, and he didn't realize they do 6 damage each. So I ended up doing 18 damage to the Valiant and finishing off in my turn. But so during the course of the game, and moving on from there, my gallants just went about killing, like not killing the Electro Priest, but severely like whittling them down, because the Electro Priest eventually killed one of the gallants. And for the other rule for the Electro Priest is that when they kill a unit on a 3+, and they get a 3+ invulnerable save. So I know what they can do. I know what they can do, so I'm wary of them. So I tried not to give him a unit, but he was able to get 3+ on both his units. But just wait a fire, because I really had nothing to shoot at, because as the game went on, I was able to kill the termites. I was able to whittle those guys down. The frustrating part, not frustrating, but one of the things was with those sniper guys, they kept on putting mortal wounds on my Castellan.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Wow.
They kept on rolling 6s. I'm like, okay. So it got down to like 15 wounds by the end of the game.
Damn.
Because I shot at the Castellans, and he would bounce like 2 or 3 saves every time.
Oh, wow.
And I'm like, all right. I shot him at twice. I'm like, never shooting at them again. The only way they died, or one of them died, was when my gallant blew up.
Mistakes were made.
So
several levels.
it was just too funny. So I was able to win that one. So at the end of the day, I was 2-1. So it's fair, okay going, which was opposite of normally how I'm usually 1 and 2, especially after I lose the first game.
Right.
But I was able to get good matchups in the next 2 games.
Yeah, that's usually what happens to me too. Let's see.
So for day 1, I was set. Had to go get ready for the barbecue. And then Tom.
So the funny thing is that, okay, so going into this, I've been practicing a lot. I've been like ready. I was like psyched. I was like, okay, let's put it this way. I had studied so many other codexes to the point where I'd walk up to a list and I'd be like, oh, I don't know what this is. I don't know. I was like, oh, can you tell me what that does? and he'd be like, "Oh, it's a dark group, it does this, and it's 48 inches line of sight, ignore it," and I'd be like going Jason Bourne and like remembering stuff. Like that's how much I had like studied for this. So like I kind of felt prepared, but the one thing I realized that I'm bad at tournaments is getting in my own head. And I was like, it's okay, just go into game one, just focus, calm down, you'll be okay. Oh, game one, I'm on table one. Oh, table one's the stream table. Oh.
Yeah, for those that weren't watching, Tom was actually on the stream on the first game.
Yeah. So part of me was like, seriously, like I'm trying to like start off with a calm foot, and I'm going on stream. I was like, whatever, and I kind of laughed at it, and I was fine.
I'm not gonna lie, I was actually worried. Yeah. I was worried it was gonna get to you.
Oh yeah, no,
because some people freak out when they're on stream.
I was worried you were gonna embarrass the team with the team's logo on the back of your shirt.
On the back of my shirt? What do you mean, wearing the shirt backwards?
No, yeah, on the back of your shirt it said #wrecked.
Yeah.
And you're on stream, and I'm like, man, he's gonna say something dumb.
No.
While his back is to the camera.
See, what I did was, when I realized I was on camera, I immediately like turned my brain's vocabulary to work mode.
So that works.
So I was like, okay, I'm in work mode.
Yeah, that's a thing.
Like I'm pretending like I'm at work right now, and I'm not gonna. I think I said like, "damn it" or "hell" once, and I apologized for it. Like, oh, sorry, I didn't mean to say that. But it was
that's not the GW stream.
No, I know. They told us like no hard swears, but
none of us are getting on the GW stream. I'll say that right now.
No. I might, as long as I really amp up the 50s.
Be an LVO. Wait, which podcast are you on? No.
I think next time, if you are gonna do that, you should do it in like old slang.
Oh, golly gee willikers.
Even like if no.
Where's my left foot? Take it all the way back. I don't know, other things. But so it was against Jason McKenzie, who really nice guy.
He comes to our tournaments a lot.
He's very good.
And he's what, number 3 Mechanicus?
He's
right
number 3 Mechanicus. Yes.
So you got a lob. Right?
Yeah. Oh yeah, it was total. Lob.
Total easy game when you're playing the third best player in the world in this specific faction. Yeah.
No, and so it was funny because I read both of those things. Like, I'm on the stream and I'm playing the number 3 player. I was like, you know what? I can only look good even if I lose. So whatever, I don't care. So I went in. It was a really close game. I don't remember too many details of it. One thing, I was playing Tau. I had a lot of Fire Warriors, Riptides, basically, and Mechanicus are a tough matchup because they're so tough. Like, there's a lot of T5, T6 out there, and it's kind of just difficult to take him down because he had I think 4 or 5 Castellan robots.
Yeah, he takes that many plus I
thought it was 6. Are those 3 squads of 2?
No, he brings 1 big squad. I know.
Okay.
Yeah, he brought 1 big squad. He brought a bunch of. He brought his conscripts, which he basically just buffed to Kingdom Come, which I realized was really effective. I tried ignoring them for a long time, and then I kind of had to deal with them. And then what ended up happening is I killed his knight, Styrax, I think he runs. The one with the electro claw.
He runs the Styrax.
And he runs it as House Crass, and I was like, what the hell is House Crass? I've never heard of that one.
Oh God, I don't know what this does.
I was like, I've heard of Raven, Tybalt, and Tyrannus. I don't know what any of these other houses.
Tybalt?
Or what? I'm thinking I'm thinking of Hawkshroud.
You're thinking of Hawkshroud, yeah.
Where do you get Tybalt from?
It's Shakespeare. Yeah.
I was gonna say, have you been listening to Lord of the Rings or something?
Yeah. No. So that game, I was tracking
the
this.
Dimbold pass.
Call him Hobbit.
Got to pick up that dead army in the Dimbold pass.
So what was I was keeping track of the score, and it was like neck and neck. I think either one of us had a 2-point lead on the other, so it was a very close game the entire time.
It was close.
Turn 5. I don't remember exactly what happened, but some dice went really well for him, really poorly for me. He made some great decisions. I think I made a mistake in one of my plays. I don't remember what I did, but I remember thinking, okay, that was not as good as it could have been. It wasn't like I lost the game mistake, but I could have done something better kind of a thing. And so 2 turns, he had everything go right for him. And that's not to take away from it at all. He played a great game. It was a very enjoyable game. No, he totally earned that for sure. Like, I'm not complaining at all. It was a good loss. I think I actually ended up getting I had 22 points even though I lost. So I was happy with it. I got a high loss.
I remember being a pretty close game.
Yeah.
I was able to watch most of that on the stream.
Yeah. So turns 5 and 6, he jumped ahead 7 points, and that was insane. That was the insane part. He only won by 7. So then game 2, I'm like, all right, well, I got to lock down and and win this one. And I ended up playing this guy. I'm gonna look up his name. I can't remember it, but he was probably the coolest guy, or one of the coolest guys I played all weekend. And yes, I'm saying that when I played against our own team twice.
Wow.
But that's
a discussion for another.
Well, that's for when we talk about day 2.
He so you're telling me his name wasn't Hanger Terrain Piece?
No, it wasn't Hanger.
Neil Brandon.
It was Neil Brandon. Yeah.
Braden.
Oh,
sorry.
Neil Braden. Yeah. So he was super cool. He was a really great guy. He brought Knights and Space Wolves.
Okay.
And he basically, I forget what he said his main faction was, but he wanted to he said he'd been playing this list for a while for fun. Then he was like, "Oh, I'm actually kind of doing well with it. I want to run it at a tournament."
What was in the Space Wolves?
Was it what I've been talking about, the Fenrisian Wolves and Canis?
No, he didn't bring that. He brought a Thunderwolf Lord, some Thunderwolf Cavalry. And then he had his troop choices where he had 2 sets of gray hunters and Intercessor Primaris Wolves.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then he had
the regular Bolton Marine dudes.
Yeah, and then he had a big old squad of Wolfen as well, and an Eviscer.
Nice.
So, and then the last thing he had was Knights. He had the Shooting Knight, the Gatling, and the Battle Cannon.
Oh yeah, Crusader.
He had a Crusader.
Yeah, that's the one I like to run.
He had a Crusader and 2 Armigers, and they were House Raven.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, Crusaders are good.
Yeah. So.
They're overlooked a lot because the Castellan and the
yeah.
Gallants take center stage, but the Crusader does good work.
No, it does. It does the Emperor's work indeed. But the reason I was able to take that game, I think, was because not only did I get a favorable board position where I was able to block a lot of his knight possibly moving, so I didn't have to worry about him for a whole turn. Mm-hmm. But I think he deployed a little too aggressively. So all I had to do was basically on my turn 1 just kind of point my guns that were very long range at his wolf pack. And I killed his Thunderwolf Cavalry in a turn and brought his Thunderwolf Lord down to 2 wounds.
Yeah, they're going to melt quick if you can focus fire them.
Yeah, and then he wasn't able to move. But that's the thing, is that he was just far away enough where even with moving...
What was your deployment?
It was Vanguard Strike.
Really?
Yeah, it was a weird one. The weird one. And I had lots of terrain to help me. And so he was a little too far. He had 2 turns basically where he had to move to me. I ended up killing the Thunderwolf.
So the terrain really helped you on that one.
Yeah, it absolutely did. And then the Wolfen too. All they were able to get into was was 1 pack of Fire Warriors, and that's the thing. He even admitted, he's like, "Yeah, all I have to do is come towards you, but you want me to do that, so
that's true.
This isn't gonna be fun." But no, in some ways, he was thinking that, but he had a great time. We both had a great time. He's one of those people that's constantly smiling, and you just feel happy at the end of the game, no matter what happens. He's one of those people. So it was a great game.
You're not making motions at you while you're talking.
Yeah. No, not what Adam does.
Right.
When I'm just
motions at you.
You do stuff to me even when I'm playing other people.
Oh yeah.
Knocking your models over with tape measures. That's me.
I don't have the depth perception for that anymore.
That's true.
Noted, Ray. Game 3, I played against a guy who was running. It was kind of like a net list. The Magnus with the cultists and DPs.
Okay, and
he had 3 max sets of cultists.
Wow.
He had Magnus, he had Armin, he had 3 Demon Princes of Zanch.
Okay.
I think he had, and then he had a Sorcerer, a Chaos Lord, an Exalted Champion, and he had Abaddon too to keep the cultists fearless.
Right. Why not?
Yeah. So that turn he went first. That was another favorable deployment for me where I was able to use a lot of terrain to keep Magnus from even getting to me using warp time. And this his name was Chris. He's a really cool guy, and he was saying that he'd been playing a lot of War Machine these last 5 years, but he used to play a lot of 40K back in the day. And
what was his name?
His name was Chris. I don't remember how to pronounce his last name. It's Chris Somethingberg.
Tauberg?
Chris Tau.
That name does sound familiar. Although I was not one of the War Machine players, so I don't know.
He was really cool.
Chris with a K, Christopher Tauberg.
He's like, I'm trying to get into this, blah, blah, and so he'd been playing a role. But what ended up happening in that game was he advanced Magnus very quickly, and he charged with them. He had warp time to set of cultists and had them charge my Tau gun line, and none of those cultists lived.
Yes.
I killed a full max squad of 40 cultists.
So no Tided Traders.
Yeah, so no Tided Traders for him. And the thing is, I had an opportunity to because I knew Magnus was coming right after them, but I had enough Fire Warriors there. I was like, all Magnus is going to do is kill Fire Warriors. I don't care. So I unleashed the whole payload on the cultists. Magnus gets in, murders, of course. Actually, no, 2 Fire Warriors lived.
No.
Yeah, it was pretty bad for him, actually. So then I back up, and I focus fire everything, all the Fire Warriors at Magnus, thinking that they'll at least bring him down to half. All the Fire Warriors kill him.
Okay.
So I've got 3 Riptides, and I'm like, oh, sweet, okay, well, this first Riptide, it looks like your Demon Prince, because he kind of it was the home plate base deployments.
Okay.
So he deployed everything on that corner edge and moved along that, so to speak.
Right, of course.
So his characters were in front because he wanted them to get into the fray. So one Demon Prince is right in front, and I've got +1 against fly. I don't even need marker lights. I light up a single Demon Prince and kill it with 1 Riptide. The next one is Aramin, and I'm like, all right, well, let's see if I can kill Aramin with Riptide.
Oh, there wasn't anybody in front?
No,
Yeah.
because he killed the cultists.
Right.
Then I kill Aramin with a Riptide.
Yeah. You're just going to melt his army at that
Yeah,
point.
and then the third, and then I'm not sure if it was this turn or another turn, but then I think I killed a 3rd Demon Prince.
Right.
And I set a personal record.
When'd you kill Abaddon?
I killed Abaddon when he charged me turn 5.
Did you kill him with Overwatch?
Yep.
Oh, God.
No,
Yeah,
I didn't.
Oh, okay.
I got him down to 2 wounds. He then put like 10 wounds on my Riptide, which my shield drone's 8.
Right.
Yeah, Jeff, who runs not a similar army, but a heavy cultist army, he's afraid to play Tau. So
Yeah, he runs a lot of Bloodletters and Zangors.
it's still
It's like a Chaos Horde army.
Yeah, but so that's one of the armies he's not fond of playing against.
Yeah, so I ended up tabling Chris at the bottom of 6, so it didn't really matter. The game was over.
Yeah.
But he was really cool. We talked about 40K, and I was I was like, well, I've got a lot of friends who play Magnus and Horde's list. This is what they do. And he actually came back to me the next day. I was like, hey man, how you doing? He's like, great. I just tabled my last opponent. I was like, sweet dude, awesome. So I think I was just a matchup that he did not want to see. Horde armies against Tau generally.
Yeah,
I
I don't know. We've had this discussion before because I don't know if you can build a real take all comers list.
I don't think so.
Maybe Eldar can, and that's a heavy maybe.
Yeah.
Or Yannari.
Yannari, I think can.
But most other factions, I think, have to hope they don't play against
or have
lists.
a contingency plan. Okay, I'm gonna pop out, kill one thing, and then just hide hopefully enough. They have to rely on not being on Planet Bowling Ball.
Well, it depends. It depends on the army you're afraid of. If you're afraid of an assault army,
you're dead.
There better be there better be stuff in between so it can at least slow them down or make them go around. Like my knights, you don't want to play on Planet Bowling Ball with knights. You want some stuff that they can't go over to be in the way.
It depends on how many Castellans you can fit in a list.
True. You can fit 3.
Technically, yeah.
Technically, you can fit 3.
In that case, you want Planet Bowling Ball.
I guess. No, you don't. You still want terrain.
No. Are you saying you want Planet Bowling Ball as the Knights player?
Yes.
No, but I'm saying what you're playing against. You don't want.
Oh, sorry. I misunderstood.
Try paying attention instead of looking at your phone.
I can't. Somebody's wrong.
Oh God.
Somebody's wrong on the internet. John to the rescue. Has to put on his cape.
I don't know if I'm to the rescue or not. That's debatable whether I'm to the rescue.
Not so much a cape, so much as a goalie mask.
Depends what side of the fence.
People about to get murdered up in here.
So day 1, you're 2-1.
2-1 as well.
The whole team was actually 2-1 at worst.
I think so. Yeah.
So we go to have the barbecue. I brought carne asada.
But there were some of you who were 3-0. I mean, not you as in the two of you. Or me, because I wasn't there.
Jeff was 3-0.
Jeff was 3-0.
Alan was 3-0. And who was it?
Was Derek 3-0?
Derek was 3-0.
With Jason, right? Wolf?
Jason was definitely not. No,
I thought he didn't lose till the second day.
No,
he lost
he
the
lost
first day.
too.
Okay.
Was it Miles 3-0?
No, Miles was 2-1 and kept telling us that he was going to go 3-3 every single game he played.
What about Danny?
Danny was not.
No,
Danny was 2-1.
Danny was playing Dark Angels and Blood Angels. And
Danny Kwan, not Danny Ruiz.
Danny Kwan.
And he faced off the guy whose list he copied.
Yes.
Perfect.
Yeah, and what happened in
Walk up at the table, hey man.
Yeah.
I copied your list.
What ended up happening too was the Dark Angels player who Danny copied from was his name
Aaron Wish.
Adam Wish, I think.
Aaron. It's Aaron Wish.
Okay.
Yeah.
Whatever. Sorry. You're in my psyche enough.
Continue.
Adam Wish kills one of his Dark Talons, which blows up. He kills the Dark Shadow, which blows up.
Sure.
Which then kills a Dark Talon, which blows up.
Perfect.
Which then kills the last Dark Talon, which
it.
blows up, and I think kills either his lieutenant or Sammy,
I like
who
it.
then also blew up.
Good times. I approve.
He had like 5. It was like, and he had no CP rolls. It was literally just 6, 6. Like, and Aaron was like, "Oh my god, I'm so sorry."
And from what I heard, I think that happened to Aaron on
Oh yeah,
too.
that ended up happening. Yeah, that exact same thing. Which, if you think about it, is something very rare. But like that way that Dark Angels list work is you have 3 planes, 2 speeders, and a character in a speeder all running around together.
Yeah.
So if one of them blows up, odds are that chain reaction can happen.
Hopefully he won't play against any orcs.
Gonna happen at some point.
Oh, you mean with the Tractors?
With the tractor beam, yeah.
Tractors.
Oh man.
Stupid.
So we had our barbecue.
Stupid
I ate
orcs.
way too much food.
A lot of food.
Oh my god, it was so
Kind of
good.
saw that on Tri-Tip.
The carne
Tony
asada
from
was so
Hammerhead
good.
Games won, right?
Tony
Yeah.
from Hammerhead Games was there.
Which, by the way, Hammerhead Games.
.net.
If you like Hammerheads or games, go
Wait,
to
it's not
Hammerhead
.com?
Games.
We talked about that, by the way.
Oh, you and Tony?
Yes.
Sweet. You didn't mention that in our chat.
We talked about it a little bit where I have to correct you every time.
That's fine.
Although I am a little sad.
It's the only
that-
time you ever get to correct me about anything, so it's fine.
I'm gonna let that one go.
I wasn't talking to you, I was talking to Adam.
I'm still letting it go. I'm still not addressing it either.
That's funny that came up. That's hilarious. Because I do it every time.
I brought
almost.
it up because we were talking
Yeah.
about it.
Mm-hmm.
And then, so that was day one.
Yeah.
Day two, again, I'll go first
Go for it.
because I think you have the better story.
Nothing
Oh,
else
God.
of note happened to the barbecue? Nobody got totally drunk and fell off a balcony or anything?
No.
No, we were near a pool.
Everyone.
I was like,
everyone-
Nobody went swimming in the pool?
I was like yay close to getting in the jacuzzi because the
Everyone-
dogs were barking like crazy.
Everyone was responsible because everyone was 2-1 or 3-0.
And then
That's so boring.
Well, we also ate too much food to physically get drunk.
You're almost as
I
boring
think,
as
yeah.
I was at the Barry Open when I was 3-0. I was like, I'm going to bed. You guys can watch all the damn Rambo you want.
Oh, that's right. Watch Rambo.
I still went to bed at like 12:30. I just
Yeah, we didn't. But
You
we
just didn't do anything crazy.
Right.
yeah.
Because it's not Vegas.
So round 4, next day, round 4. Okay, so the first day, I went with Jeff because Alan wanted to stay in bed and sleep,
Oh god.
Because it's Alan.
and I left my army in Alan's
Notice
car.
how these stories start with "So Alan."
Wanted to go to sleep.
This
Or
is-
wanted to sleep more.
Wanted to sleep more, so
Yeah.
and Jeff was on me like, you should get your arm. I'm like, nah, I'll be fine. So, but Alan shows up like a half hour before because we got to register and whatever. The next day, Alan wants to stay in bed again. I was worried this time because he didn't show up till like 5 minutes before the game start. And Jeff was telling me, see, I told you. I go, nah. You know what? It makes a good story, and I get to complain about it.
It's true.
Yeah,
Things-
part of you wanted it to happen.
Yes, I'm not
Yes.
gonna lie. But
You were
game one.
deploying like you were asking for it.
So game one, you know what? From the results of that day, the army may as well have stayed in the car.
Oh. Sad
Self-burn?
reacts only.
Self-burn, my goodness.
So game one was against Nick Card, and Nick's a local player. He's been playing for a long time. Actually,
Yeah.
he's from Orange County. He's really nice.
If you live in SoCal, you know who he is.
He helps run the Dice Hammer GT now
Mm-hmm.
with Chris Cole.
yeah.
He had blasters, the Harlequins
He's
with
a good guy.
blasters, 2 units of 6 and a unit of 2, 3 units of 6 or 7 grotesques,
Ooh.
and then Rangers and some bones, Spirit Seers and some Homoculi. And
I thought you were
so
gonna
basically, it was a whole army of 4+ of
I'm gonna say
six.
bone weavers, like those what is it? Those elite choices that are 20 points that just
No, bone
reinforce
singers.
bone singers. I was like,
That
really?
is what I said.
You said bone
Oh,
singers.
Spirit Singers.
Yeah, yeah.
Which are, I think, the Harlequin guys.
Oh.
This is why you lose, because you don't even know what army you're playing against.
No, I know. Trust me, I know what army I'm playing against. So, which is basically the anti-knight list.
Yes.
So
Harlequins.
Yeah, because of the Harlequins.
So he
And
built
and
for the
grotesques.
old meta, not the new post-FAQ meta.
Yeah, I don't remember.
There
I
were
don't
a
know-
surprising number of knights there, though. It was not bad.
Knight primary, though?
No.
Right.
At least 2 knights. I don't know. I
There
saw a lot
was
of
at
lists with
least-
it.
Not
No,
Knight
no.
primary. That we were
There-
discussing this on my
yeah.
article today. There's a
Oh,
lot of
I
comments
see.
about it.
Humble
They're
brag.
like,
Humble
there's-
brag. Are you,
not a humble
are you
brag.
virtue signaling over there?
I am not virtue signaling.
you
Oh my god, I hate you so
frontline-
much right now. I'm gonna kill you.
Are you virtue frontline the signals?
Literally murder you on stream with this paintbrush.
That's fine. I'll die happy.
No. Everybody knows I write articles because I'm important. Okay.
Okay. So you're
No.
important signaling.
Yes, I'm important,
That's
signaling within a niche community that nobody gives a shit about.
Hey, it's wherever you get your kicks, man.
Right. No, in the comment section they were talking about this because I made the point that like it's a post FAQ meta. It's returned back to basically like what it was like before Knights existed. Except now, instead of dealing with a Shadow Sword in the list, you have to deal with the Castellan.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
And actually, yeah.
Yeah.
Actual
Or you have to deal with some Helverins and a Gallant. Or something like that. Like, it's not that you don't see Knight primary factions doing well anymore. Because you just don't.
Yeah, the best was Art Derek, and he was like, I think, 20-something.
Yes.
So
I mean, there were some Knight primary factions in the top 20. There were none in the top 10.
Yeah.
And the ones that were in the top 20 are all exceptionally good players.
Yeah.
It's Aurelio Correa, Ryan Mead, Derek Page.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
So
Lancelot.
Yes. Guinevere. Wait, what?
I would have said Gawain.
Gawain.
Yeah, not Gawain.
Percival.
Depends what show.
Yeah.
Oh, John, I just want to let you know I started watching a historical show
Yes.
about Joan of Arc. It's a Japanese anime.
Nice. It's historical.
It's just like the other one I told you about, which was Meow Meow Cat's Japanese history.
I'm not dignifying this.
Which
with
is
a
an
response.
actual show.
No.
It's actually pretty funny.
I'm not dignifying
Isn't that a
it.
response?
Yeah.
Isn't that just a little bit?
But the Joan of Arc one is totally like out.
You know, we're going back to Discord shows where you're not in my house.
But then you can't throw things at us. You know?
I'm not throwing anything at you right now.
I'm
Not in my own house because then I have to clean it
He
up.
doesn't have metal models, so they're not really going to do anything.
I'm not throwing anything in my own house that I then have to clean up
sharp,
later.
Pointy fangs. I mean, what can I have?
Oh
that
my
thing?
god.
Throw this pot of wash at you, then I have
So-
to clean the floor up.
so-
and-
And I'm blind for life.
well, nobody cares about that part.
Fair point.
So basically, what ended up doing was I sent him the Knights towards one, and he put both his large unit of Harlequin bikes in Deep Strike,
Why?
so they wouldn't get shot at by the Castellan. Because the first turn,
All right.
I really did.
Because they pack a lot of punch, right?
Well, okay. What the blasters do is they wound vehicles when they do mortar wounds. One mortar wound on a 4+,
And
Yes.
then D3 on
and
6.
then D3 on a 6.
Yes.
More importantly, they're D6 shots instead of D3. Dark Eldar won't have them, but they're only D3
They're
shots.
D3, yeah.
Their Harlequins are D6, so
Yeah.
6 shots. And when he rolled, he was shooting like 23, 22. It was a lot.
You keep talking, and all I hear is Eldar need to be nerfed.
So I'm just gonna keep going. Otherwise, I'm gonna talk about Meow Meow Japanese history.
No. Please stop.
I just like
Continue
saying
talking
Meow
about.
Meow.
Continue talking about 40K.
Yeah.
So what I ended up doing was I didn't charge anything turn one.
Okay.
I just ran towards my right to kind of zone out his deep strikers as much as possible.
Okay.
So they ended up coming in at on my top right corner, his bottom left. I was able to kill the 2 bikes because he had to leave them on the table. They're dead. They didn't really do much, but I didn't kill anything turn one. So his bike come in, they kill one of the gallants, and then I threw the other 2, the gallant, a squad of scouts, and the Castellan in shooting, and then into the other 2
Why you gotta throw things at people?
because it hurts
It's racist.
emotionally, and so they're able. So basically, they only killed one knight, and that was basically it. Unfortunately, the grotesques were killing everything else.
Really?
Oh yeah, they move, they advance. The turns I don't shoot at them, he just advances them because he's not in a hurry to kill the other stuff.
Grotesques are good.
Yeah, well, 4+ and mono saves are really good.
My knights hate grotesques.
So and then I brought the smash captains. I don't know if I should have chosen different targets to throw them at because I threw them at his characters.
What you should have chosen is to not play Smash Captains.
Well, we'll get to that at the end.
Actually, we will get to that again for another reason, too.
Right. There's a couple reasons we'll get to that because
I'm aware.
This is what I realized
I've only been saying it for like 6 months.
at the end of the game.
Jackasses.
Well, I was gonna change it. We talked about it
Nobody
earlier.
fucking listens to me. We're in a chat together.
You're a little better over there, buddy?
I'm a little bitter because nobody wants to listen to me
Well,
about how Smash Captains are not that great.
We talked about it, but I was just too lazy because I didn't feel like.
I know. Too
Plus
lazy
with
to
the
build
changes,
something new.
I'm gonna have a Smash Captain and name him SoCal Captain
Just
to
name,
make you extra.
Okay.
should
bitter.
just name
to
him
make him
Salty
extra
John.
bitter because he couldn't go to sleep.
Just name one after me.
Captain John SoCal.
John Salt.
John Sodemius.
God damn it! I hate you so much.
So,
Excellent.
but they did what they were supposed to do. They put all they landed where they needed to. They got the charges off,
Mm-hmm.
but unfortunately, they wounded each character because I split the attacks. There were 4 characters. I hit and wounded each character twice.
Okay.
He made all his saves except one. It's only one character died.
Oof.
So they did what they were supposed to do.
Because the Archons have a 2-up info? Yeah, the
They had a
RD.
4 up.
Okay, if they failed, they clearly didn't do what they were supposed to do.
No,
so
no.
you can't just qualify
No, they
success
did- no.
as
But
like
Archons have
up
a
to a
shadow.
point
That's why
they
they're
did what
hanging
they're
on
supposed to
saves.
do.
Right.
But then they didn't do what they were supposed to do in combat, so they failed.
No, they did not. My opponent just happened to roll his saves. So that's out of my control. How do I fail or they fail if it's not in my control?
Does this mean we're doing 2 podcasts now?
No.
How did
Does
you do
this
that
mean
to
I
my
have-
thumb?
How did you what?
You had that before when we started.
No, I did not.
Your
I
salt
noticed-
level-
I
your
noticed-
salt
no, I
levels-
noticed it and I didn't say anything. You had that at the beginning. I thought you cut it earlier. I didn't. I'm serious.
I'm
Hey,
not
John,
even- I'm
you're
not-
bleeding out, but I'm not going to say anything.
Thanks.
You weren't bleeding. It looked cauterized.
Seriously, you know what? We were putting pictures in picture frames, and I had to like do the metal,
No, the class.
the little metal clasps.
Yeah. Oh,
I must
yeah.
have cut myself one of the metal clasps. I didn't even notice it.
Yeah.
She's
I
down
mean,
here.
and you
Hey,
type-
I'm bleeding from one of your pictures. She doesn't care. She just went like this.
The thing is that you didn't feel it because you're typing furiously so much every night. You've built up calluses
It's true.
on your fingers.
I have calluses on my thumbs because of work, and that helps with when I'm scraping with the exact.
I made the mistake of signing into my Reddit account again today.
Is that scraping your dice with the exact?
No, models. Danny's stupid blood letters.
Oh god.
So
I'm not looking forward to painting them anymore.
Painting them is easy.
I know.
yeah, painting
Red, brown wash, red wash, done.
done. So basically, it came down to him making his 4-up saves.
Yeah.
Whether it was from shooting, close combat with the gallants, it didn't matter. So,
Damn.
so I ended up losing. Actually, ended up losing 22-24.
That's a close game.
Yeah. So I probably could have thrown the captain somewhere else, but I feel that that was probably the right choice at the time. He just made his saves. I can't.
Yeah.
Other than like making him turn the other way and switching his dice when he's not looking, there's not much I can do to.
Or not taking smash captains.
Again, I can't control. They did what they were supposed to do. I can't control how my opponent
No,
rolls.
they didn't do what they were
Yes,
supposed
they
to
did.
do.
They're supposed to get in there, hit the characters. They did, and he made his saves. So by that, they did
He
what
said
they were
they're supposed to
do.
hit. He didn't say they're supposed to kill.
True.
There is a distinction, John.
And even when I shot at one character,
Stupid
I was
unit.
able to kill. Oh, I got his warlord only had one left, and I was able to shoot at him because they were the closest model.
Yeah.
He saved 4 or 5 shots from between the mortars and the las guns and everything else that shot at him. So if your opponent's making 4,
How many of the top 10 lists had smash captains in them?
none.
Did you just physically do the impertinent baby goat face?
He
I
did.
did.
Subconsciously?
I did.
did.
Oh my god.
Baby Go meme is the best meme.
I don't know.
Kudos.
But
That was actually
there was
really well
there
done.
was another list that had a smash captain, but I don't think it made it to the finals.
Yeah, no, I can't think of it. Come to think of it, I don't even know who. Oh, Brandon Grant did. That's right.
Brandon,
Wow.
yeah.
I blanked. I was like, huh? What?
Who won this tournament in Southern California? If your
wow.
first response was it Brandon Grant, you were wrong.
Wow.
No, I remember that. I just couldn't. For some reason, I totally mentally blanked.
Wow. Okay.
Moving on.
So round 5 was against Dayton. We know Dayton because he hangs out with my brother at LVO.
Yes,
He's from
yeah.
Warhammered.
I know who he is.
So he's a big guy. He's a space marine. I mean firefighter from Canada.
Whatever.
You mean inspiration?
Either way works.
Sure. And his army was Mortarion, Knight, double Gatling Knight, Hellverns, Plague Burst Crawlers, Demon Prince, and I think that was it. Can't remember what else was in there.
Mm-hmm.
So the first game I felt, because this is the theme for the first and second game at least. The first game, I don't think I did too much wrong except for the captains, but even with the captains, he just made all his invulnerable saves that he needed to make.
Didn't do anything wrong except for take smash him.
It doesn't matter because even if I hadn't taken him, I still would have. He would have made all his invulnerable saves, so there's not much you can do with that.
Yeah.
So a lot of points you could have put into like Hellvarons, which could just shoot everything dead.
Yeah, but if he makes the invulnerable save, what does it matter? I was throwing the shots, so if he makes the saves, it doesn't matter what I do, John.
Yeah, John.
Saves in a different phase. You don't know what would happen.
Oh my God. Sure, John.
The philosophy guy agrees with me. He's just not saying anything.
No, I'm just drinking and saying yes to people who give me attention.
It's valid also.
I don't know what you're talking about. I mean,
So
probably would agree with you though.
Right.
in that game, why would you agree when you're about to take the same units?
That's actually literally how much I'm not listening. I didn't know we were talking about.
He's not taking shield. He's going to take shield captains, not smash captains.
No, you haven't heard the list then.
I have not looked at your most recent posts. You're right.
I've gone back and forth, and John, I would appreciate your criticisms.
If you are doing anything that includes Blood Angels smash captains, I disagree with what you're
I don't think he needs them because he already has the shield captains. He has enough 3+, 4+. So
I'd water at you, sir.
that game had more or less the same thing happened. I was left with Mortarion with 1 wound left after turn 1, and that's after shooting at him and assaulting him with a gallant, which included Death Grip, which I used a lot during the tournament.
Really?
Death Grip is really fun.
Yeah, it is.
And it's pretty good, too, for 1 CP.
Yeah.
So Mortarion still had 1 wound left. And that's when we started commenting on how he's such a great 40k player. He's like one of the best because he kept on rolling 5s and 6s the whole game.
Oh my God, you're so good. Your tactics are so great.
Yeah. So
You're so good at money with your $3 billion inheritance. Wow, that's awesome. You're so good with money.
It's like the fantasy game, the fantasy game of Renown, where the guy showed up at the store at Game Empire when it was the old Game Empire.
Yeah. And this is 7th edition?
This was 7th edition fantasy.
7th
and this
edition
guy shows up for a
teams.
league game, and his opponent shows up, and he puts his list out on the tray, and he goes, and the other guy literally starts taking his models off the table before the game even begins. Oh man, your generalship is so great. Oh dude, this game was so good.
The
Oh my
army
God.
he took was a Khorne demon army.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And in 7th edition, that
That
army
just wrecked
was
everything, right?
broken.
And the other guy was playing like Empire or some nonsense, right? He's like, "Oh man, your generalship is so good. This is such a good game, such a great game. Oh my God, you're such a good general. You're such a good general." And he looks at the guy and he goes, "Dude, you want to play again? Oh my God, you win again! Oh my God, you're so good."
That more or less was the running joke during that whole game because that's more or less what happened.
Right.
He rolled whenever he rolled for the Flamers for the Plagueburst Crawlers, it was either 11 or 12.
Oh my God.
Literally every time.
Yikes.
So it's like, okay, and I actually thought of that
that game.
that game when this was happening because towards the end of the game, I still had a chance. Mortarion was dead. A couple of his Plagueburst Crawlers were dead. I was shooting at his knight, and I shot with the big gun. I hit, and with the knight, no rotate iron shields because we both didn't have CPs at that point. He made all the 5+ invulnerable saves.
Wow.
I'm like, oh, okay, I guess that's game.
It's one of those days.
Yes, and that was with the big gun.
Nice.
Wow.
And he only had like 9 wounds left. So
What house are you taking?
that one was Terran. Because of the extra detachment, I can't split the.
You know what you could do is you could take a free blade that's Mechanicus, so you could take the Call's Wrath.
That's what
Aurelio does.
someone else told me that.
Aurelio
when
does
I was
that.
talking to them
Oh,
about a month
interesting.
ago.
So you take
But you then you can take the negative.
It doesn't matter. You just have to pass your leadership, and your leadership's 9.
yeah.
Oh.
It really doesn't matter.
It's on 1 dice or 2 dice?
2. It's 2 dice.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a chance. There's a small chance.
So
on
you
it.
just pick the 2 that you're worth living, or do you roll for 1? Because that's the
No,
rule,
you
right?
pick
You pick.
2 benefits and one
one
negative burden.
One
Right.
burden.
One burden.
And the
That's not too
burden,
bad.
yeah,
Yeah.
You just pick whatever one you don't care about.
yeah. So
Yes.
Yeah.
because you still get the house traits for the other guys.
Yeah, because you can run with Terran for 2 gallants,
You're right.
which is
And
amazing.
and then use.
And
the
then you
free
take
blade.
you take a free blade Mechanicus for your Castellan, so you can take Call's Wrath.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was about a month ago. I forgot about that. Yeah, someone else was talking to me about it about a month.
I mean,
ago.
I'm not going to do it, but you can do it.
I'm not gonna do it because I already sold more
I see what you
switching
did
armies.
there. I see what you did there. Try to be a sneaky.
I don't know what I did anymore.
I don't even know. I don't know either. 'Cause I wasn't paying attention.
Nobody's listening. It's fine.
So
I'm not. What are we talking about?
so that one again. I don't think I did anything
It's not like anything bad or
like game breaking bad. I mean, but
Except for your list. Continue.
no, it wasn't even
God damn it.
that.
God damn it, Token.
I don't. That's actually.
I don't know
one
how
of
to
the
play
best.
bass. Picks up the bass, starts playing. God damn it, Carbon.
Oh, that's probably one of the best. Especially when he goes, I kill you.
Yeah. I love
What'd you say?
No.
So, I don't like. I don't think.
Smite me right now.
So I don't think I did anything like blatantly wrong.
Right.
But again, like you said, it's just a great general.
Yes. Oh my god, your generalship is so good. It's so good.
Oh my god.
You want to play again? Oh, look at you play again.
Only 5s and 6s.
You win again.
And then the last game was against Space Wolves, and I was actually kind of frustrated because both those games I don't think anything did grossly bad.
Were you frustrated because you had to play on a table with a hanger?
No, we'll get to that.
Okay.
I was frustrated with not even my gameplay. I wasn't upset with the gameplay. I thought I played fine. I played well enough to win.
You're upset with your opponent's dice?
More or less, but not at them.
Yeah.
It's just I went average and they spiked.
Yeah.
And
There we go, Spike TV on you.
so yeah, they're not even around anymore.
Oh, they're not?
No, it's Paramount TV now.
Yeah.
So that's when I just stopped caring and played the third game against Space Wolves, and it's another army that had a majority 3+ and multiple saves. Plus, I played on the table where it was the kill team table, and they had the high one where you can't see the because you can't see the bottom floor.
Yeah.
He was, and the army was small enough. He hit his whole army behind that
my
table,
God.
so I had nothing to shoot at except the Wolfen, and I killed one Wolfen.
Oh,
And he
God.
picked the guy that didn't have the 3+ invulnerable save.
Screw you.
So 8 3+ invulnerable Wolfen just went around killing everything.
Oh my
And
god.
that was
sweet.
more or less the game.
That's good times.
But because I didn't care, it was more fun trying. And he also had Arjak, which is basically Thor.
Yeah.
Yeah, Rockfist is pretty great.
A monomorph actually comes on stage whenever and wherever Arjak is being used on the table and
So-
starts playing.
The best part of that game was that I was able to kill his last Wolfen with las guns
Nice.
from the guardsmen. That same turn, my other guardsmen killed one Space Wolf in close combat, or finished a squad of Space Wolf in close combat. And then on the last turn, he blew up my Griffin mortar carrier,
Mm-hmm.
and it exploded and did 2 mortal wounds. So he had 1 wound left on Arjak. And then my Imperial Guard went over and finished him off with las guns, doing 5 wounds to him, and him
Nice.
failing 2 of them with a 2+ armor
Nice.
save. So. But it was still
He's
fun.
missing half a leg. Shoot him while he's down.
It's a flesh wound!
And that one, just so for John's
Edification.
edification and sneering, the one smash captain killed like 2 or 3 of his characters that had more than 1 left.
Fake news.
So, and the other one,
Or
what did the other
not
one
me.
do?
You could just say it's not meaningful news. It doesn't have to be. It could be true.
And the other one- the other
this
one-
is a post-Trump world. It's fake
Yeah.
news.
God damn.
The other one killed 2 of the Wolfen, but then because the Wolfen get to attack when they die, he
Yeah.
died. Yeah. So.
Yeah, that's the best part about the Wolfen, honestly. They can do attack when they die.
Yeah, they're just like, finger
You
flip.
Yeah.
you don't see it. You only see it rarely because they murder everything else
Yeah.
beforehand.
Right.
But it was a fun game. I'd actually played him before at Boise when the Boise.
Oh, yeah.
the
You
Boise
had to travel
tournament.
all the way to
'Cause-
Idaho to play this guy?
Well, because
No, the first time he happened to be there. I think he might be from that area. Yeah, and that was Brad. We played before, and he murdered me with Wolfen then too. So
Nice.
I already knew that didn't
Hey, at
change.
least you lose consistently to the same things.
True.
Yeah. So
So I ended up 2-4.
my game
Fun.
4, I was supposed to play. Should I just say who I was supposed to play?
James, right? Carmona?
Yeah.
You can say who you're supposed to play.
I was supposed to play James Carmona, and I was excited to play this game because it's basically Jeff's list. And
Have you ever played James before?
No, I haven't.
Oh, okay.
But we know the other person.
Yeah, because they're around. Yeah.
Yeah. No, we know each other. Honestly, I don't think the game would have been an issue at all. I was excited to play it, and I thought.
Yeah.
Because I was interested to see how he ran it.
Mm-hmm.
So I was ready to going in, but then he didn't show up, and a number of people, of course, is having a big GT, didn't show up, and one of those people happened to be our teammate Jacob Cook.
His opponent didn't show up.
His opponent was Aaron Hayden.
Yeah, Aaron had to leave. He had some family thing that came up.
Yeah, so we were both like, oh wow, it's like we didn't get to, and so we go with a group of people, and Frankie literally looks at the two of us and says, all right, so you guys playing each other, right? And Jacob and I didn't want to play against each other because
we're teammates, right?
We're teammates, yeah. And so Jacob's like, but we're on a team, or like I said that, and Frankie's like looks at us deadpan. He's like, so.
So great.
He's like, go play on this table.
That sounds like Frankie.
But the thing is, though, the other reason that Jacob doesn't want to play against my list is because it counters his decently.
Yes.
Death Guard don't like Tau insofar as that they're too slow to get to me.
Yes.
And I can kill Mortarion quickly.
Yeah.
So that game was a lot of fun, and it was really close actually because there was a lot of terrain on the table. There was like a lot of wonky places to deploy, and we had Donald Hammer and Anvil. And I think I screwed up my deployment a little bit insofar as I split my army up when I shouldn't have. I kind of deployed in 2 mini castles as opposed to 1 big castle. I ended up killing Mortarion, and then it was kind of like a back and forth. It was really hard to get him off the objectives, which was kind of crucial because I picked ground control. So I'm like the entire time, I'm like, I got to shoot him off these objectives. But then there are 2 things that kind of clinched the game for me. Because even though as he's relentlessly advancing towards me and like slowly killing things, I was able to kill 2 Plague Burst Crawlers. But I realized if I tried to focus down the 3rd one, even though it was a point for me, I was like, you know what? I'm not going to be able to do it in time. I'm going to lose. Instead, I'm going to just take these Fire Warriors and run them into this building, and then they're going to assault the Plague Burst Crawler. And in that, I locked his Plague Burst Crawler. He couldn't overwatch me because I charged through a building, and it was over an objective. So I scored.
Nice.
So I scored 2 points. I almost scored like 2 points just by holding it in place and then scoring an objective.
By assaulting with Tau. That's gotta be like cheating, right?
Well, I'm of the theory that if you want to play Tau well, you have to know the assault phase inside and out before.
Right, because people are gonna bend you over.
Exactly. So I was able to keep his entire left flank pinned with 2 squads of fire warriors, and it was awesome. The 3rd turn, I wanted them to not be pinned, but they were, but whatever.
It happens.
But then the coolest thing, too, was the Cold Star was a boss, and he usually fails me with 4 fusions, or he gets sniped. And this turn, in one turn, he's like, oh, you Nurglings staying on that objective, scoring Jacob bonus points, 4 fusion blasters, 4 Nurglings gone. Just perfect rolls. And I was like, you are bossing it right now. Oh my god, you've always failed me. You're doing so good.
This is the one game where you're turned on. Great.
Then he advances all the way to his back line the next turn, 40 inches, and Jake's like, oh my god, I forgot he does that. And snipes his other 4 Nurglings on his home field objective, and so I outhold him 2 turns in a row.
Nice.
And so it was like, yeah! And I don't know. It was a really close game. We ended up having to really play quickly through the end, but it was a close game. I think ended up being 22-34.
Yeah, or something like that.
It was a pretty high scoring game. Then the next game, I was like, all right, well that's over. That was pretty intense. Next game it'll be hard, but whatever. I ended up playing Miles.
For those that don't know, Miles is
also a local.
He's a local. He's not on our team, but he hangs out with us.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's
not that we have not asked him.
No.
Yeah.
He actually refused.
Yeah,
that means I'll never ask him again.
We are not jerks.
No,
we can because he refused us. He refused us, John.
Well, whatever.
You don't just refuse us out of hand. Does he not know who we are?
Call the families. This must be.
I want him dead. I want his kids dead.
But the other thing too is that we had literally played that Tuesday against each other.
With the same list?
No, not exactly.
Not exactly.
He had an illegal list when he played.
Yeah, we didn't realize he had 4 Devastator squads, because when you think Rule of 3, you think overpowered stuff.
Yeah, you don't think Devastators.
You don't think Devastators. And he was like, literally 10 minutes before, Jason Wolf looks at his list and is like, hey, isn't that illegal? And Miles looks at me and Danny, he's like, what is wrong with you two? You're my friends. I thought you would tell me. And we're like, dude, we didn't think of it.
Wait, before the SoCal or before the game you played?
Before the SoCal Open.
Oh, God.
And so he runs over to the secondhand store. He and Danny are digging through tons of stuff, trying to find something that works. They find a fully painted, fully assembled Thunderfire cannon and Tech Marine. He He buys it for $20,
Legit.
rewrites his list, and ends up having points to spare. Turned out, after all was said and done, he preferred having a second Thunderfire cannon. He was like, I like this better than 4 Dev Squads. And
Seems legit.
I was like, you know what? Hey, Fate conspired. And which is great, because you have Gilliman, who's got the armor of Fate. So
Yes.
what to do? But what was crazy about the game we played on Tuesday was he went first, and we both agreed that if I had gone first, then I would have won, based on the fact that both our armies are gunline armies.
Right.
And he relies so much on his shooting and I on mine that if I can knock out a good portion of his shooting first, then I have the advantage, especially because I have shield drones. So he goes first again this time in the tournament. I try to seize, I fail, but I deployed really conservatively, a bunch of stuff out of line of sight, and he just immediately throws everything he can at all of my shield drones. Just as much as he possibly can.
Which is to my opinion, the proper thing to do.
Oh, absolutely. And so he's saving his devs for the very, very end to take out my Riptides. And he brings 2 shield drone squads to 2 and finally kills the last one. So I still had drone protection against his devs and only ended up taking 3 or 4. I think I took 7 wounds on one Riptide. And then stim injected it and was like, I don't care. He's going to die next turn. Just come at me, bro. Which ironically, that Riptide ended up living till turn 5. But because I threw a 3-up invul on it. And so he was like, I don't care about that one, even though it's got 7 wounds, I care about this fully. But in his first turn, he started with 10 command points, I think. He was down to 2. He was throwing everything he could to try and kill all my shield drones, including an orbital bombardment with Gilliman, which he picked a corner that was like on the building. So it was like right here, and then like 3 feet down with the rest of my army, including my shield drones, or 3 inches down. He rolls, and it's like everyone within the point, within 2d6 of the point. He rolls a 2. He rolls snake eyes or a 3. It doesn't get to my shield drones. He kills 2 fire warriors with an orbital bombardment.
Nice.
And I was like, oh my god, thank bejeebus. Like, this is incredible. And basically that was just a slugfest. Just, I would kill like portions of his army, then he'd kill portions of my army, then portions of his, portions of mine. And something that I ended up being able to do was I advanced the first turn. I was like, the Scorpius, he's a Scorpius, is going to murder me. So I advanced the Cold Star all the way to his side of the board, sacrifice play. Cold Star is going to try and nuke the Scorpius on his own. He's going to at least do 4 or 5 wounds to it. Everything else I have can take care of it.
Sure.
I ended up killing the Scorpius on that turn. But on my turn, he doesn't go for the Cold Star, who's right next to his Devastators, but behind cover. I don't know if he forgot about it or just chose to ignore it. He instead goes for my drones and tries to kill my Riptides, which he does kill one of them, and then the other 2. Then I have 1 full health and that one that has like 7 wounds left.
Where was Gulliman?
Gilliman was next to the Devastators. All he had to do was move Gilliman 6 inches or 8 inches, which he can do. Yeah. And then he would have made a 7 and 8 inch charge and murder the Cold Star. But he would have lost his rerolls on all of his gun lines because he was near his Thunderfire. He would have been out of range of his Thunderfire cannons and his Wyverns. So I think he was keeping Gilliman back and he didn't care. So once I saw that Cold Star was still alive, I was like, okay, I'm going to move him 10 inches. There's your Bannerman. Yeah. And I'm sniped your Bannerman. And the second I sniped his Bannerman, I started going for Devastators because I was like, okay, you can't res them, you can't shoot me. And then what ended up happening was I have a lot of Fire Warriors left who are picking off guard. I've got the Cyclic Ion Commander who's killing Wyverns. And then Gilliman charges me, and I kill Gilliman in Overwatch, which I did not do the game we played against Tuesday. Yeah. And he doesn't have any CPs left. Tries to resurrect, rolls a 1.
You gotta save it. You gotta save
Tries
that
to
CP.
resurrect, rolls a 1.
I learned that one at the first Barry Open 8th edition. Yep.
So, and then once Gilliman died, he called it. It was game over. And so we counted up, and so I got another 30-pointer. Then game 3, I lost an ERA, and that was it. So then let's talk about...
You don't get to skip game 6.
All right, game 6. Game 6 was tough for me. So it was tough for a couple reasons. I had just played 2 very intense games. It's the end of a 2-day tournament. I'm exhausted. I'm hungry. And I'm thirsty. So I've got a lot of
excuses.
I know, excuses. But, you know, those things weigh on you. So I tried to eat as fast as I could. I tried to drink a lot of water because I knew I was, like, low energy.
You guys went to time, right? Or close to time, I think.
Well, the game was over before. I was just playing for points. Like, we both knew the game was over at turn 3.
Yeah, but instead of hurrying up, you guys went to time.
Yeah, we ended up doing it because I was, you know, I don't know. I wasn't slow playing him by any means, but... So we ended up playing on what SoCal players are affectionately referring to as the hanger table. Okay. I want to call it the hang myself table.
Oh, look, it's right there. Perfect.
Yeah,
popped
right
up.
there. It's almost like it was time to do that.
Almost.
So
for those that don't know, it's in the rotation, but it's a new table by Frontline Gaming that they were more or less showing off at SoCal Open. So they only had one of those. Now I don't know how many they plan on having at LVO, but expect to see it. It's what, a foot long?
It's
18 inches.
It's 18 inches by 14 inches at the least. It's huge, and the way the rules work for the hangar.
Let's put it this way: you can fit 2/3 of an orc army in there.
Because someone did.
Yeah,
there it is.
Yeah, so that's basically what it looks
that's
like.
What we're talking about.
To keep it still on the stream. The key thing is, all right. So if you look at the hangar, it's pretty big, it's pretty tall, but it's got that door right there. So Reese actually came up and walked up to both of us and explained how it worked. And he said the way it worked is this: that it's ruins. You can move through it. You can move through it if you're infantry, or if you have the fly keyword. Anything else has to go through the doors. As a note, you can only go through the doors if you can fit through the doors. So those doors are about 5 inches tall.
Sure.
Nothing that is bigger than that can go through. My Cold Star was barely able to fit in it, thank God. Because there's 2 stems, I picked the shorter ones.
Nice. Well done. That's advanced strategy.
No, the terrain rule was not in the tournament packet. There's a lot of debate about this, Axis.
Oh yeah.
So that it was not in the tournament packet. In addition, in the tournament packet, it says you cannot have an objective in a building that is enclosed. And there was an objective. He was scoring the entire game that was in the middle of that. And I told... Okay, we'll get to that in a minute. So... I know. Well, here's the thing: is so Axis is saying that if your packet doesn't specify terrain rules, it should be up to players' agreement. Agreed, except the TO came up to us as we started the game and told us how it worked.
Well, that was the only table with that terrain piece on it.
Exactly.
Right.
So,
and it was the first time
they've used that terrain.
And I think he went to whoever played on that table and explained the rules every round.
Yeah, that's what I think's happened. But here's the kicker, though: is that it's not just can you fit through the doors. It's not just you can't fit through the doors, it's also the doors are closed. So they're closed until you move through them. So my Riptides are completely pointless on this map, even though they're ignoring... because smart missiles can't kill Shining Spears.
No.
Right.
No, like not at all.
They can't.
They can barely kill Dark Reapers.
Right.
Who have 3 of armor save, by the way.
Yes.
Yeah.
Stupid, you Dark Reapers. But what ended up happening... So here, what ended up happening is I split my army in 2. I deployed in 2 different ruin pieces. And basically, I went first. I tried to kill something, and I brought a Wave Serpent down to 1 wound. Didn't get first kill. Realized that I was also, because I was kind of like trying to kill something as fast as possible, I was terrified of this terrain piece. I killed 2 Shining Spear models with Fire Warriors, which I was like, okay, pretty cool. There's still enough to do work.
Yep.
Brought a Wave Serpent down to 1 wound, so I didn't get kill. I didn't hold an objective because I was too far away, because the deployment was such that it was Dawn of War, and 2 of the deployments were in the mid zone, and 1 and 2 were on terrain pieces, and I could not put my army out in the open because against Yunari that's called you lose.
Yes.
So he's sitting on his terrain piece because he's got -1, -2 to hit everywhere because he's also playing Altaiok.
Right.
So on his turn, he kills something, he holds something, he outscores me 4 points to none, and that's kind of how the rest of the game worked. It was I could either kill 1 or 2 things, but not outkill him, and I could never outhold him. And simultaneously, his army is very fast, and I can't keep up with that. The Riptide sat back and shot for as long as I could, but then when the Dark Reapers decided, the squad of 9 Dark Reapers I couldn't touch, who kept jumping out of the building, firing at me,
and jumping back, right? Because they're infantry, so they could go through the walls, right?
So he kept doing that back and forth.
Yeah, that's a little silly.
It was bonkers.
If you're planning to go to Las Vegas Open, I suggest you buy one of these terrain pieces so you can practice on it, because it's very unique.
It is.
And the rules that govern it are very unique. And although it's not going to be on every single table, chances are you could play on the table with this terrain piece, and you need to be prepared for it.
Yeah.
I said the same thing in my article that I posted this morning. If you're planning to go, you need to pay attention to a couple things. Pay attention to what orcs do to the meta. Pay attention to what chapter approved does to the meta. And buy one of these buildings so that you can play on with your friends and you can prepare for it.
Yeah, having played on this table, what I can say is if you control the hangar, you control the board.
Yes.
And that is absolutely
depending on the opponent's army and your army, and like
it's not
obviously
100%
the list that you're playing, the list your opponent's playing is going to play a factor, but
Yeah.
it is a dominant piece of terrain and you have to be ready for it.
Yeah. And it allows you a lot of leverage to do a lot of different things. If you're a shooting army, you can pop out just a little bit and boom, you can start firing. If you're a melee army, guess what? You've got a whole big old piece of terrain that they're not going to want to come near because you're an assault army and they can't shoot you.
Right.
So
what you're telling me is
there's a chance.
the sales pitch worked because now you have to buy it so
Yeah.
you can practice on it.
Sure.
Yeah, just like, we have
Whatever.
to buy health insurance because we die, in that same way. It's like, But
No, you buy life insurance because you die.
Yeah.
You buy health insurance because you hope not to.
yeah, sure. That's the better way of putting that metaphor than I started.
I've been a father for a while. I understand how the insurances work.
Oh God. Anyway, the what I should have done, but this is one of those damned if you do, damned if you don't things. What I should have done is I should have deployed, since it was done a war, I should have deployed my entire army in one big ball right as close to the hangar as possible, and then hoped I go first and advance in.
Sure.
Not even try and maybe use the Riptides to try and kill one thing, but not even go for that. Because I'll get hold one. I might get kill one with the Riptides who can't fit anyway. Bring the drones in so the drones can't get shot at by direct fire, and then just see what happens.
Yeah.
But the problem with that is two things. One, against Yunari, if I don't go first, I'm dead. Even with as many fire warriors and shield drones and Riptides I have.
Sure.
Because he doesn't care about my Riptides.
No.
Insofar as, oh sure, he'll lose his wave service to them eventually, but he didn't care. His Dark Reapers can sit back and just murder me. They outrange me. I'm 36 inches, he's 48. The second thing is this, is that even if I did go first and advance in, then I'm a shooting army who's very contained to line of sight. Like those cats are who are going ballistic on each other in the living room. So I'm a shooting army who's in an enclosed building that I can't see out of, that is only owning that terrain piece to keep him from owning it. So the second I walk out and shoot, I'm exposed. Of course, unless I'm LR, which I can fire and fade back, but that would even only be one of my units.
Right.
And meanwhile, his
Tau used to be able to do that.
I know.
I remember doing that with my suits. Jump, shoot, jump.
Yeah. And by the way, our
pain
relic, which gave us jump, shoot, jump back, doesn't give us jump, fly, shoot back because of they didn't clarify whether or not it gets.
Oh man, I loved playing that army in the late 4th, early 5th edition just to annoy people.
Yes.
Yeah, it was great.
Yes.
Really?
It was
Just to annoy people. What a surprise.
Yeah. But that's the problem, is that
Like, I'd be like that.
I realized that even if I had played my best game and did all these pro strats that, of course, hours of hindsight gave me later, I don't think I could have wanted it there either. It was just a damned if you do, damned if you don't.
Well, you
setup.
needed to have practiced that terrain piece.
Yeah. Now I will say too that part of it is that with any game you can win any game if your opponent makes a mistake.
Sure.
But that's the thing, is that Matt, I think his name is Matt Baum. It was the guy who I played. Super nice guy, really professional. We had a good game, even though he could tell I was frustrated. He, and I get visibly frustrated, so I kept reminding him, by the way, dude,
You do really? I've never noticed before.
I will tell you that I don't. No, just kidding. I'm kidding.
I thought you got red because you were sunburned that day, not because you were upset.
Well, I do have melanoma, I'm sure. Even if it's a cloudy day. No.
I just assume somebody's been knocking your models over with the tape measure from the end of the table.
You do that anyway, yes. I know. No, but I mean, but here's the thing. He knew how to run. He ran those Yunari like a clock, and he knew how to do it. His targeting prioritization was on point. He knew exactly what he was supposed to do. The only mistake was casting a power with his Warlock to give an extra bonus when he shouldn't have, because the Warlock ended up paraling. So this is not even his fault this year. He just had bad dice. He ended up paraling and then killing another Warlock and then another unit. So he ended up killing 3 things for me in my turn, and that is when I got the most amount of kills in the entire game.
Legit.
He paralled with a Warlock.
Perfect.
And he was like, oh man, it's really bad. I don't know. And I'm like, dude, this is the most amount of kills I've gotten all game because you gave it to me. I was like, you're fine.
Nice.
So at the end of the day, he's a great guy. I'd totally play him again. He offered to get me a beer, but the beer place was closed. So I told him that if he's ever in Pasadena, I'll take him up on that.
Nice.
So, end of the day, end of the tournament, what was your record?
My record was 4-2.
Okay. You actually tied your mentor.
Yes.
Jeff was also 4-2.
That's right.
Losing to Custos in the last round. And As we already mentioned, Brandon Grant won with Pure Guard and a Castellan.
Yes.
Who, by the way, he lost to Castellan in his final game, turn 1.
Yes.
And
was
won
not-
the game 1,400 points.
Yeah.
Against 2,000.
Yeah, and was not faced. He was like, I am Brandon Grant. I am all that is machine and man. Praise the Messiah.
He did not blow a fuse and start. Yeah. Second place was Cooper
Uh-huh.
with Tyranids.
Cooper
Also
Waddle,
undefeated, though.
Yeah, also undefeated.
Also
The other undefeated.
which is insane.
He had a chance because he was only like 3 or 4 points behind.
Yeah.
Either one of them, one of the top table. So if he had beaten Allen, who he beat, played against our Allen, he was 5-0 at the time.
Who had a chance to win? Alan.
Fueled on rage because he didn't get picked.
Or
by
Alan, you
Dark
at least
Horse.
had a chance to match my performance at the Barry Open by
Oh
going
my
6-0 and
God.
getting second place.
Oh, we should go back to Discord. Because then I don't have to look at your smugness.
I'm just gonna put the baby goat meme on the screen.
God damn it.
it is a good meme.
It is pretty good, though. Like, I can't not but smile whenever
Smug baby goat is the best.
I'm like, dang it, John, stop making me smile. Stop bringing joy to me in a Schadenfreude manner.
So, but if he had gotten a bigger win, he could have still taken first. Allen subbing a little too hard because he was way behind first and second.
He was, yeah.
Cooper was only a few points behind, so if he had won by a lot more points, he probably could have taken first.
Yeah.
That's still pretty good with a Tyranid army because he played against at least 2, counting Allen, he played at least against 2 other Eldar armies.
See, now I disagree with that. I think that Tyranids are super strong. People just aren't playing them.
You disagree with him beating 2 Eldar armies?
No, I disagree with what you're saying for being good because he was playing Tyranids. Like, you made this comment like it was good because he was playing Tyranids.
Oh, you're saying
and I
Tyranids are
disagree.
good.
I'm saying Tyranids are super strong. It's just that most of the good players aren't playing them, and bad players cannot play them.
Because you win or lose in the movement phase, and that's the hardest phase.
Yeah, but Tyranids are super strong.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's what I meant, but sure.
Well, you know what? That's how I took it. So that's how you meant
He's
it.
letting you run with that. Is what
Yeah, that's what.
I am going to run with it. So
We'll let Mr. Sensitive over there run with it.
Mr. Sensitive.
That's why you're on my left side. Alex Aquila came in third with Cabal of Blackheart. Daniel Olivas came in fourth, which is another discussion we'll have a little later.
Are we gonna have that discussion?
A little bit. A little bit.
Sure.
Some people can control ourselves.
I control myself just fine.
What is control?
A few, some of our teammates did well.
Derek Page got 11.
Derek Page, no, he got he got 14th.
No, that's okay.
But Derek Page got best knights. Unfortunately, Tom did not get best knights.
No, that went to
The best Tau.
Best
I
time.
did not-
Well, technically, he did not get best knights. I'm not lying.
Yeah,
But he
that's
wasn't trying to get best.
true. You
knights.
don't know that. I actually had a secret armature summoning that I never used all game.
Danny Kwan got best Dark Angel player somehow.
Which is hysterical considering I tied in my standing with Danny Kwan.
Oh.
He got best Dark Angels. I did not get best Tau.
Who else
Hopes deleted.
won? Alan got best Harlequins. I think that's it for the rest. If I'm missing anybody, I
It is too much. God
apologize.
damn it, John. It is too much goat babiness.
Isn't it on your profile?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, but it's like taking up an impressive amount of the stream. Not to mention which okay, it's gone now, but the double hanger meme was
It's right
Yeah.
there.
like John, you've gone mad with power.
I'm just covering you guys with it. That's all.
No, fair point. We are just nothing but smug hairs and a baby goat.
So a couple things from the event. One was a player did get models pulled from the event,
That was interesting.
Got to base your models.
and it
It's
wasn't
the
even
rules.
for the model. It was for the basing. He had 2.
So I said you got to base your models. Rules are rules.
2 units of I don't know who's playing the dead guys. Oathway,
Wraith
The Wraith
Guard.
Wraith Guard, and then a Bone Singer or Spirits.
And like a couple Wraith Blades or something too.
Yeah, it was like 3 units total. He painted the base and then was back for the last game.
Last game, yeah.
But
And the guy who reported him for having the
Bases.
based models helped him paint the bases
Yeah.
in between his 5th game and 6th game.
so
That's some sportsmanship right there.
That is.
yeah. Speaking of which, so
That's-
there was an incident. If you
And?
anyone
One?
It was one.
I feel there were more than one, but we'll go ahead and talk about one.
It was one long one. So
basically, we went from the hippie Rolling Stones concert to like the middle of Vietnam in like a minute. That's how
so basically, what ended up happening was, and it comes down to the subject of takebacks.
Yes.
Which you should never allow in a competitive setting. I've said multiple times. If you're playing a competitive tournament, you do not allow takebacks.
We're not even talking about the incident. So
it doesn't matter because the entire incident is predicated on a mistake, which is they allowed takebacks.
Right.
They expected takebacks.
And it was Daniel Olivas with and a couple of players. One of them Nick Rose, the other one Stephen Pamprine.
Right.
He played against Pamprine, let him take takebacks, and he felt it cost him the game. He was talking about that. Someone outside heard. Nick Rose heard and took offense to it. And it was basically a yelling match. It wasn't even anything like too insane.
It was just people talking heatedly.
Yeah.
You're lame. No, you're lame. No, you're lame.
Although the best part is Jason's rendition of it, because he was holding the door open for one of them to come in or go out while they're yelling at each other.
All he wanted was somebody to go in and out.
Yes. He's like, I'm just doing a social courtesy.
Yes.
Come on.
And it's fine. Like, people have disagreements on how the game should be played, and that's fine. Like, whatever.
So game 6, they happened. Nick Rose and Daniel happened to be playing each other, and Nick went through his moves, forgot one thing, asked for a take back. Daniel said no, and apparently Daniel mentioned him at the start of the game that there are not going to be any takebacks.
Ain't no takebacks.
Sure.
So Nick didn't take kindly to it, started yelling at him again, got a little more heated because, according to Daniel himself, he did not help the situation.
No boy.
Didn't he make the talking fingers?
He did the hand gesture where you do this.
Oh, God.
So
that's not combative at all.
No.
And that's totally conducive to diffusing a situation. When somebody's talking to you and you go to him, oh, yeah.
Second only to saying, calm down.
Yeah.
It works all the time when I do it to my wife. I don't know why.
I'm sure it does, Adam. Yeah.
Not sure why it didn't work for him.
I'm
Tune
sure
in
that
next
works.
week for more shit Adam lies about.
Yeah. Well, he's wearing a patch because his wife stabs him in the face.
But Daniel
These days you get the pillow. I'm just saying.
You totally deserve it, by the way.
You will totally deserve it, yes.
I'm not going to lie.
But none of us are arguing with you. If you die from suffocation by pillow, we're all going to understand that she was well within her rights to do so.
This will be brought up in court, this Twitch clip. And the jury will be like, general motion to release the pig.
And they'll call Tom and I as witnesses and we'll go, yeah, he deserved it.
Yeah. I mean, we like the guy, but he definitely... Yeah.
So, he even admitted...
Stephen Pamprine.
No, Daniel admitted that he didn't help the situation by doing that.
Right.
But the judge came over and agreed with Daniel because it is your prerogative. When something like that happens, you don't have to...
Prerogative, man.
You don't have to, like John is saying, you don't have to give them permission to take back.
Oh.
It is a competitive environment,
Particularly if you said it before the game started.
Yeah, and the reason is not because, like, haha, you forgot something, therefore I'm an asshole to you, and I use that to my advantage. No, it's part of the game, and how to be good at it and win at it is remembering everything.
But it's also understandable if you play in a meta where that's allowed.
And
which Nick Rose definitely plays in a different meta. He lives in Boston now.
Mm-hmm.
And he used to be from Texas. So he's played multiple different metas, so maybe he's just used to it.
Confusing accents. I'm just thinking that right now.
So it's totally fine if you played in a different place and you're expecting takebacks because that's normally what's done, right? But I mean, it's also the prerogative of the player to be like, no, I'm not going to allow that.
Yeah, don't get upset if they don't allow it.
Right.
Sometimes I'll ask if they say no, okay, fine, and just keep on going.
The problem was there was a history already from that event.
Yeah, so that just triggered it, and but even then, whatever.
Oh, my triggers.
My triggers.
So basically,
get my triggers, child.
Basically,
they're on the shelf.
Nick rage quit on turn 2.
Yeah.
Because the charge that he needed to make was basically an important one, which is why he forgot it.
And then from this point forward, it all becomes crazy internet drama laced nonsense.
Yes.
So who cares?
Yeah,
because nobody knows what the truth is from this point forward.
And if you've seen the Blood of Kittens,
Blood of what?
I don't even want to call it, I guess, comment or reaction. Some people were upset about it.
I think John's point was he doesn't even acknowledge what you're talking
know,
about.
I know.
The blood of kittens, like, attempt at being the Inquirer of 40K.
Yes. And with
this guy threw a drop pod at another guy.
Oh my god, this guy lit this guy on fire!
And then threw more drop pods at him. It's like, dude, no one brings drop pods. Come on. We know you're lying. We'll believe the fire before we'll believe the drop pod.
There was literally a pile of drop pods in the
trash?
secondhand store.
In the trash.
Basically.
In the trash.
It had to be at like 20 of them.
Were they all silver and red like mine?
No, they were all Crimson Fist colors.
So there were drop pods literally in the trash from a trash chapter?
I wanted to go up and just put my phone there and have on repeat Landslide and just be like, and I see my just like have like the drop pods have their time of sadness. Like that's how much I felt for them. I'm telling you, I'm calling it conspiracy theory, chapter proof. They're gonna deep strike turn 1 and allow Primaris Marines.
No.
You kidding? If they wanted to sell as many Primaris Marines and drop pods as they possibly could,
They don't
would make
want
that
to.
rule.
They have to fully kill off the Marine line first.
So then keep the drop
So they
pods,
can
which I'm sure
restart.
they have plenty of,
Yeah.
and sell more Primaris Marines because everyone would bring Primaris
Yes,
Marines.
but that's not going to be chapter proof. This is going to be 9th edition.
Yeah.
No, you mean 8.1.
Whenever, or as they advance
Whatever
the
it's
story.
Anyways, don't listen to gossip online.
Yeah.
Unless it's from us.
And
Most specifically
unlike,
me.
Excuse you, sir.
What,
We don't gossip.
No. We slander.
I've never slandered anybody in my life.
it's not slander if it's the truth.
That's correct.
And unlike
Isn't it libel?
other
Whatever.
it's the same thing.
I'm not a constitutional
Yeah.
scholar. Unless I'm on Facebook. Or Reddit.
Or 3 beers deep?
I swear I won't get all political. Three drinks later.
The School of Athens just like...
So
No, it's the floor of the Senate.
Oh yeah, the floor of the Senate.
The other thing is, unlike what some other podcasts have been saying, it's not the norm for competitive play.
To allow takebacks.
No, to have a yelling match. Another podcast did that. Something like that is normal for competitive.
It is
play.
not normal.
For high-end competitive play.
That shouldn't be normal.
We have never.
not.
Oh, it's normal when your 6-year-old shits himself.
We have never once had a shouting match at the Las Vegas Open.
Well, okay, not a shouting match.
We have had other incidences, but there's never been 2 guys literally shouting at each other over the game at the largest Warhammer 40K tournament in the world.
Not to mention which, even at the highest levels, yes.
At the highest levels.
There's contention. There's
been
disagreements.
contention, disagreements.
But nothing like a shouting match. That's not.
There's been
normal.
a threat once, but there
There's-
has never been actual shouting at one another, threatening physical violence.
So
and
unlike what
people.
other podcasts may say, that's not.
It's not the norm.
And if that. And it shouldn't be the norm if it's your local area.
Yeah, and if you think that's the norm, then you need to reassess where you play and how much stock you
I
put
just wanted
in
to
plastic
put that out
soldiers.
there because I didn't want people to think that,
It is not the norm.
and I don't want it to deter people from going to tournaments because it's still fun to go to.
Oh yeah, no, for sure.
I mean, even going 2 and 4. My goal all the time, as we talk about the goals, is just not to go over. For some reason, I just don't want to go 0 and 6 or 0 and 3.
See, I got lucky. My very first LVO, I went 1 and 5, and that was because I was bringing an anti-flyer list, and I played against a guy who brought a land speeder list with Marines.
Sweet.
I think
it was a beautiful looking list too. I still remember that game. It was a lot of fun.
I think in terms of GTs or large tournaments, this might be my worst showing. This includes 3rd edition.
This is
and
my
4th edition,
best showing.
I think.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, my best showing was 5 and 1 at LAGT in 2003.
That's the thing. Like
15 years ago.
While this
15.
My best showing was a couple months ago.
Oh, was it the local RT at the store?
Yeah.
No.
I think it was the local RT.
No, it's when I went
Yeah.
undefeated at the Bay Area Open and got 2nd place.
What bay?
Second loser.
There's no bay in here.
No, it's first loser. Thank you very much. Not the
First
second
sorry,
loser,
you didn't
Adam.
get third.
It's
Sorry.
first loser. I have
Yeah.
a plaque and it should literally say first loser.
Well, I mean, let's put it this way. I heard that silver makes
just like-
great.
I would be
silver
fine
ware.
if Reese would take my plaque back and re-etch it with the company to say first loser. I'd be fine with that.
No,
If
but
we ever do one, we'll do that.
He just has to include the 6 and 0 part.
yeah. No, but I'll say really quickly just
put it
to
backwards.
kind of end to end my portion of things, anyways.
Well,
Oh, go. Well, I mean, I'm just talking about the SoCal thing, but
I know.
Okay, go for it.
so other than that, in regards to the hangar,
Oh yeah.
There was a discussion about it. We did talk. I talked to
Oh,
Reese.
God.
A number of people talked to Reese. I'm just saying people talk to Reese.
No,
I don't know
no.
what your problem is.
No, I'm just laughing because I'm remembering.
A lot of a lot of very vocal people.
Screw preachers.
A lot of that was the best.
Oh God.
What's a breacher?
Exactly.
You know what? We're not going to mention it here, but we'll mention it. We'll have a special episode for the Patreons.
Yep. If you're a Patreon subscriber,
Within the next week, we'll have a special episode with Tom talking about his discussion with Reese.
Yeah, and we'll have a Morton salt shaker for him.
mm-hmm. and a lot of booze.
But and other than Tom being upset about the that terrain piece, like I said, Rich Kilton, who went 5-1-1 or 4-1-1, almost went 5-0-1 because he only had a draw. He got his draw in one of his wins using that terrain piece.
Yep.
To fit about 1,200 points of orcs inside of it.
Yeah.
While Ray, who played him, just flew around in circles around the hangar.
Sorry, Eldar, we can't land on the tarmac yet because it's crowded with orcs.
Somebody built a hangar in the middle of the runway, and I can't land.
You're negative, Maverick. Pattern is full.
Should we buzz the tower?
Yeah, it's no bueno.
So that was we'll record a special holiday episode for the Patreon members.
Yeah.
About that, but a couple other things. Any other thoughts about the trip? Was no excitement on the trip back. Got back in a couple hours.
Yeah. It's amazing what happens when Alan wants to go to sleep.
Yes. We left right after.
Alan, Mr. I lost the game. Let's leave today, but there's still a whole day of tournament tomorrow.
Yes.
Hernandez.
So I'll recap this. The end of this, this was the end of the SoCal expansion for me, the whole experiment. And I will say that while I didn't get Best Tau, again, congrats to Brian for coming in 11th and clinching Best Tau.
He was 5-1.
He was 5-1.
Yeah.
Both of them were 4-1 at the time.
Yeah.
But he got a better table.
Unless you're playing one of the maligned factions, you have to go at least 5-1
Yeah.
right
to get best in faction. You might be able to do 4-2 if you're doing like something like Space Marines,
Well,
which
yeah.
is not necessarily maligned, but like it's
Mid-
so
mid-tier?
popular, but it's mid-tier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if you're playing something like Tau, which is good, or Eldari
I
or
should- you know what, I
Jakari,
should've
one of
just
those, you have to
taken
be 5-1.
Assassins.
Yeah, primary assassin's dog.
Like, did Alan went 5-1 with Harlequins?
He
Did he
went
get best
5-1.
Harlequin?
Yeah,
Yes.
He did get best. Yeah, so you got to go like 5-1 unless you're playing one of the maligned ones.
yeah.
Which
no,
you're not. Tau is good, so.
No, Tau is good, and there's always enough Tau players there, and I think Tau has been out long enough where people have stopped complaining and realized they're
They're
good.
good, yeah.
Like you.
Well, people outside of the Tau Facebook groups have stopped complaining.
regardless.
And the Tau Reddit groups.
Regardless of online groups are terrible, no matter what faction you belong to, I think. But in any event, while I was upset I didn't clinch, top Tau, at the end of the day, I kind of am like really happy with how I performed. I won 4 games in a row.
Nice.
I went 4-2 to GT. I've never done that.
Good. Good. Personal
Actually,
best are good.
Personal best. And that's including the 5-1 I went. No, the 4-2 I had at the first BA Open in 8th. Because
Sure.
but that was index everywhere, so that was like the Wild West. So
That
I
was
don't
the Wild West.
This is an established meta, an established game. So I'm actually more proud of this win than I am of that one.
Nice.
And I had
Yeah.
3 games that were over 30 points for me.
Cool.
So I felt like really in control of my games, and the one thing I'll say that led me to all of this is not only just the practice. It's practice, having people talk to you and being critical and honest with you and saying, no, this is bad, you should do this. This is good, you should do that.
Right.
Being humble enough to take those judgments, and then honest to God, learning other codexes. Like when I was saying about the Jason Bourne thing, I'm not kidding. When I was playing that Yanari guy at the end of the game, I really hope, Matt, if you ever listen to this, I hope you don't think I was messing with you, because when I asked testing you, because
cheating.
when I was asking you all those questions about Yanari, I when I asked them, I didn't remember. And then as you talked about them, I remembered the rest of the rule because I had read them.
We don't have many straight Ynnari players where we play.
But
we have a lot of Eldari players, but most of them don't play Ynnari.
But even then, like I'm like I just like reading through enough of it, like even just one read through does wonders. Like going up against Knights, I immediately remembered what the Hellvern's gun damage was.
Yeah.
You know, it's like
For
you
sure.
just read it once, and if you have that kind of like at least a decent retentive memory, you're like, okay, I'm set. And so like, I don't know, I felt really good about it, and practice and constructive criticism and good friends all around, I think are what help you.
Those of you in the Patreon group, by the way, these are not Tom's custodes.
No, and we'll get to that soon.
Yeah, thanks for ruining that too, John.
Well, because I just want to make sure they know they're in the Patreon group.
No,
and paying
because
attention.
you like to ruin things. That's okay. So.
And by the way, anyone who's in the Patreon group, if you want to ask
the Destroyer of Worlds
more questions about either the hanger piece or about my experiences literally prepping for a pro tour, just ask. I'll be happy to answer.
So Tom.
Yep.
You talked about what you took away. What going forward? Are you shelving the Tau for now? Or would you make any changes to your Tau list?
If I were to make any changes, I would actually not make any changes to my Tau list now.
Okay.
I really like the composition of it. One thing I could do, and I debated doing this like literally 2 weeks before, but I was like, it's a trap, don't mess with your list. I played the same list.
Don't be John.
Yeah, I had played the same list.
Hey, I've
30
stopped doing
games
that, thank
in
you
a
very
row.
much. I've not done that in several tournaments.
So I had 2 battalions and a Sasea Vanguard.
Mm-hmm.
If I drop one of the Cold Stars, if I drop the Cold Star, I can actually end up with 3 battalions and have a lot more CP to play with and Kroot.
Okay.
And I think that...
What?
Yeah.
I don't know. He's excited by the new Kroot model that they showed.
Yeah! No, actually it's mostly because...
Where's my It's a Trap meme?
Yeah, I know, right? No, it's
Should've
mostly
worn that
because
shirt.
Kroot...
Where's my Admiral Akbar?
I found in a lot of games with like against enemies that deep struck, I needed more people in the backfield to hold off deep strikers, or in some cases I need more of a screen, and Kroot fill that role so well. And meanwhile, I have enough light infantry where I'm not worried about the Kroot giving up a first turn kill, because whoopee, you're killing that instead of my Fire Warriors.
Right.
I'll take that. So if I were to change something, I'd drop a Cold Star and make it a Sasea battalion, and then I'd have 3 battalions, which is 18 command points, and me with that many command points is dangerous.
Sure.
Because I have a lot of stuff I can do. I burn through at least 6 turn 1 if I have a perfect gun line set up.
Yeah.
So what are you punting to?
What am I punting to?
Yeah. What are you playing next?
Okay. So
I thought you would get that.
Did you watch enough football?
No.
Well, I wouldn't say punting. I mean,
How un-American are you?
on a scale of
1 to kneeling during the national anthem.
on a scale of
Un-American are you?
Democratic Party to Republican Party, because neither of them are American.
You're a libertarian.
No, I'm not. I mean, let's put it this way: I'm not two-party system. That's what
On a scale of Republican and Democrat to sane, you're saying?
Hey, that's a good one. I'll take that. I am saying no. So one thing I did like about the Tau list and practicing is I realized that a lot of the lists I had been building in 7th and in 8th before really settling down on 1 and being forced, because Jeff kind of in a way said, you should play this list, start out with it, and we'll tweak it as you go, and because it'll teach you a lot about the game.
Mm-hmm.
And I realized I like elite armies and armies that require finesse.
Sure.
So, you know.
You like the stress.
So naturally, your next army is going to be Grey Knights.
I don't know what it is with the other guys in our group that are wanting to do what they're calling the Grey Knight Challenge.
Yeah, Jeff contacted me. He's like, "Hey man, can I borrow your Grey Knights?" I'm like, "I don't still have those." Are you kidding me?
The winds of fortune shifted and they were gone.
I sold those almost immediately after the league. The last time when I played them in the league, I was like, "I'm done with this. This is not gonna work."
No, so I'm gonna be playing, and this is actually, John, where I want your criticism.
Sure.
So I'm playing Custodes,
Yes.
Primary, and the plan is to take an outrider of Custodes, basically, you know, a lot of Praetor, you know, Virtus bikes, and Shield Captain with Auric Aquilus. Those bikes are nasty. They're durable as hell.
Like a
and
shield
I love them.
cap?
Oh,
Shield captain.
so sexy.
Not your shield captain.
No,
This,
they're
is, this
not.
is Carlos'
No,
shield
I'm
captain.
going to be painting mine in the Shadow Keepers scheme, so it'll be black, red, and gold.
That's
but
cool.
Mostly black.
I was unaware there were other schemes.
Mm.
As I commission paint these on stream, I was
They
unaware.
look great. No, they look great.
And I didn't even ask Carlos like how he wanted them painted. I was like,
Carlos,
I was like,
Yeah.
I'll paint your. He's like, can you paint my Custodes? I was like, yeah, sure. I only do commissions for like friends. I don't This is not something that I do. Like, I don't do commissions.
So
And I was like, yeah, sure.
The thing is that I've been talking about what I'm going to do. I mean, I know enough about the Custodes element where I just know I just need to buy a ton of bikes. So it's like, whatever. But then then you've got 2 other detachments to work with. And with Custodes, you do want a bit of CP. So I'm thinking, about a guard battalion. That's an easy thing. You get your guy who's got the at least Kurov's Aquila, if not make him also the Warlord, so you can regen a couple points maybe on deployment against your opponent, or if you use on Golden Late they come. But then the question is the third one. And I've spoken with people, with you guys, and I've spoken with Jeff, but apparently I need to talk about both lists because John went ham on the Slam today and said that Slam captains are not good.
Not worth it.
Not worth it.
Not worth it. If you're already taking like a bunch of close combat stuff, you don't need slam captains.
In your list, you don't need the slam.
See, and that's where
they're a trap. Slam captains are a trap.
So here's the argument. The slam captains are not a trap insofar as this. I need slam captains to deal with knights.
Here's my argument. You're wrong.
Well, okay, I'm gonna need a little more to go on than that.
I need evidence for that, at the very least.
Okay.
I need at least. I gotta have at least $30 on it.
I'm gonna need you to do at least tree fitting.
True. This is a Loch Ness Monster.
I did tree fitting. They're just not good.
So okay,
because you have to spend. Okay, from my experience,
you have to spend too many CP on them. Sure,
first,
go ahead.
Yes.
First, with my army, after playing this, I realized that I need more quantity of shots as opposed to quality of shots.
Which is what I was doing with Tau, basically.
So, the plan, if I were to continue playing this army, we'll see what happens after chapter approved.
Yeah.
Is to drop the Dark Blood Angels altogether, because I was talking with Jeff and with the new.
Jeff tells you it.
No.
After I've been telling you it for
he's
months.
telling me to keep the Blood Angels.
No, because I was gonna take
Gasp.
no. Yeah, he's much nicer to me. No,
I allow you in my house
your
to
wife,
record
your
the
wife
show.
allows me into the house.
This is true.
So
she probably likes you way more than I do.
But probably.
She's up there cackling. My husband's a noob. She's like secretly a pro player on a circuit you're not even aware of.
So, because what I was gonna do is drop the Blood Angels, add to the Imperial Guard, but I was gonna get Rattlings. This is why he said to
Rattlings?
No, the Rattlings were basically to replace the Scouts.
Oh, right.
But Jeff said not to do the Rattlings. He was okay with dropping the Blood Angels, but not to do the Rattlings because.
Of course, he was okay with dropping the Blood Angels.
But because
you told me to add them though.
Because it's different.
Yeah, no, I know.
I have 2 Gallants.
He's
So.
sabotaging you. You tied his score at the SoCal. Yeah. He can't have the apprentice outstripping the master.
Oh no! I didn't realize this was a Sith relationship. I thought it was Jedi.
So
oh no!
So he because with the change, well, especially with the changes to the Raven Guard and the Raven Guard, Mechanicus, and Alpha Legion stratagems.
Right.
It doesn't matter if they sneak in or not.
Can you explain that to people who
so
aren't
the
aware
changes
of
they
the FAQ?
made with the latest FAQ is that those 3 in particular, because before you can put a unit kind of like you can deploy them after everything else is deployed.
It was like a fake deep strike,
kind of, and be outside of 9 inches of the opponent.
Yeah, it was.
Just
it was good. It was strong.
Yeah.
So now they just get a free move instead.
It was not OP, but it was strong.
Which, by the way, is not bad for the chaos side of things. The guy who I played against warp time is Cultist after they moved 9 inches, and that's really effective.
Right, but they already have an ability called like the Scout Sentinels have a scout move, which is essentially the same thing for free. So
some factions like Cruton Pathfinders.
Yeah, they have a free move.
You keep saying this word Cruton. I keep thinking it's not a thing.
Hey, new Crute model, new Crute Critics confirmed. I'm calling.
You keep saying this thing. I don't think you know what you're saying.
No.
No, what is that phrase? You keep saying that.
You keep saying that word. I do not think
it means what you think it means. Yeah.
So inconceivable.
So that's why I said not to use the Rattlings, but I think I can maybe fit a brigade in there, so I'll have more. So I have 12.
A brigade of Rattlings?
No, brigade of the Imperial Guard.
I played base for Brigade of Rattlings back in college.
So that would give you, and then just
I'm
stop.
sad that I laughed at that.
You should be.
I definitely should.
Which would just get. So then I just fill out the heavy support with just mortars.
Mortars are good.
But that's if I continue to play with that army. So, but I'm playing orcs. I have about 100 orcs I got to put together.
Yeah, you're on that bandwagon, right there. That sounds.
I know, just like the meme. I've been playing since 3rd. Although technically I played in third, I haven't been playing since third.
Yeah.
So.
So the reason for me though that I'm still gravitating towards it is, first, I get 2 battalions if I bring Blood Angels instead of just 1. So I get a lot more CPs. So the battalion pays for the Blood Angel Smash Captain cost, which, by the way, I don't have to make him the Death Company Smash Captain if I'm going up against a Horde list.
You don't see what I had to deal with for like the last 10 years or whatever.
Yeah, I know, right?
Since I've known him. So
is this what I can expect in my married life?
Yeah. But the problem is they still eat up a lot of points, and that's the other issue they have. They if you want to use them for them to be effective,
they're too many points.
If you put them on the table, you're spending 2 because that's the new cost to put them in the redeploy Wings of Fire. You're spending 2 more so they can charge 3d6 because you're gonna have to make sure they get in there. You're maybe spending 1 to get the relic jump pack.
Well, they get 3d6 because of Wings of Fire, I thought.
No, they get 3d6 as a different stratagem.
Oh, damn!
So you're already spending 4.
Yes.
But you're spending 1 more if you do the if you give them the jump pack that denies the Overwatch.
Okay.
And then if you want him to fight again, that's 3. If you want him after he dies, that's 2. If you want the extra attacks, that's 1. So you're spending like 7 to 9 command points just on one guy.
I'm starting to see a light bulb above Tom's head.
It's more like
it's flickering. I can tell you right now, it's flickering.
It's like
It's resisting
It's something
because
to
it doesn't
think
want to
about.
admit that I'm right.
It's got a cathode in it.
Because I can afford to drop the battalion because I save like about 5 command points without having to spend.
Which is why they were never good in the Knight primary list, because the Knights need all those CPs.
They do.
Well, now especially with the OP regen gone,
Yes.
you have to.
That's true.
It was never
Cuts
OP.
had to be made. So
It was never OP. People were just crying.
I'm giving mine the pink slip.
Well, let's put it this way: the one of the counters against Knights that Jeff had, and I think this makes sense too. So then this actually opens the third question of what the hell do I do?
Sure.
Because I was like, okay, well, what about this? Like, bring the Guard Battalion, bring the Custodes, and then bring an auxiliary Knight. Do the heirlooms, do the relic, and basically make it this super beefy House Tyrannus Gallant that just runs up, is very hard to kill, and then can possibly go zombie mode.
Sure.
But then he had a very good point, which is that's an instant kill Kingslayer. And the whole point
is an instant Kingslayer.
And the whole point of playing Custodes is that you
don't give up a lot.
You don't give up a lot of points, and it's hard to kill things.
Yes.
So you want to stay in that zone with what you're playing. Because if you've got a basic guard battalion, no one's gonna give a crap about those guys as long as your Custodes are running around.
It's true.
So
distraction card effects.
but then here's the problem, right? So here's my conundrum. I've got my guard battalion. I've got my outrider for Custodes.
Right.
So what do I do to get either more CP, or maybe even more CP is not the question, but like I need something that can help me take down Knights, because I can't play a game and dodge Knights the entire game.
Just take more guard.
Take more guard. Like what? Like Earthshakers or Death Strikers?
Not the Manticore? Which is one of the more 4 missiles?
That's the...
It's a Manticore, right?
It's Manticore.
Yeah, that has 4 missiles. You can only shoot 1 per turn, unless you take the Forge World version, which lets you fire all 4. They're strength 10. They're only -2, I believe, but only D3 damage.
They're only D3?
Yeah, but they're 2d6 shots for each missile.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Each missile's 2d6 shots.
Yes.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, that's not bad.
So the issue is the -2 plus the D3 damage, but
do they ignore line of sight, ignore cover?
they ignore line of sight.
That's good.
Plus, the Knight won't be in cover, so I
Oh,
don't
I
think you
mean-
have to worry about the cover.
No, I'm just thinking in general.
So at best, the Knight's on the
I'm-
4+, whether it's the invulnerable save or... Well, I mean, I guess they could spend a command point to rotate.
And then I make them catechin so they reroll the number of shots they get.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, interesting.
You roll one of the 2d6.
Let's...
Well, you said you wanted to do Death Core.
Corporal Creed?
You mentioned
No,
that,
the guy who beat Jeff was running...
Was Deathcore.
Was Death
Corps,
Corps of Krieg, and...
I don't think you're going to have to worry about Jeff's list.
No, not with Custodes, no.
Not with Custodes.
No, for me... And here's the thing, I'm not even worried about Magnus with Custodes. Magnus can... Enough Custodes make that charge. Magnus will go down. If I, assuming I always go first, which Magnus in any list he's in will be going second.
Right.
And if I charge first.
Yeah.
Usually, yeah. So my thought process is, okay, so like I need something that helps me take down Knights, because doing the math, first off, you don't want to charge your Custodes against a Knight who will blow up and then cause mortal wounds to your Custodes.
Yeah, and the Custodes do pretty good against knights in close combat. When I fought one in BAO,
Even with the lances?
I was surprised how well they do.
Well, because I actually did math, and with the rerolls to wound on a charge, you do at least 10
Don't tell
or
me
11.
the odds.
I know Han Solo, but the point is that you
Han.
It's the hand.
Han. Sorry.
Hand.
God damn it.
Look, I'm sorry I'm not in your local Star Wars meta. Okay.
Oh my god! I'm gonna fucking smack you so hard right now.
That's so great.
This is why I love being on the show, because the reactions you two have to my jokes are always the opposite.
I'm so happy you just did that.
It's like
I'm
fate
surprised you're happy he did that.
Whatever. It's good times.
Yeah.
So with that conundrum,
So I guess that's a good thing. Maybe bring more guard.
whatever. What do I know? What do I know? I went 2 and 4.
Let's put it this way: the fastest army I can field is the Blood Angels, so I'll start with that at the very least. And then, because here's the thing: I'm not going to buy a knight before chapter approved.
So you're listening to the guy who
No,
went 2 and 4, as
I didn't
opposed
say
to the guy
I
who
didn't
went
say
6 and
take
0.
Blood Angels. I said don't.
I'm saying I'm going to run what will let me get on the table faster.
I was listening to Jeff.
He's listening to the other guy that went 4 and 2.
No, I'm saying I'm going to do what gets me on the table faster. Oh, and in that list with the Blood Angels, I also have a Calexis, which I think is important.
Sure.
I feel
Calexis are good. That's fine.
Yeah,
I'll approve that choice.
Maybe if I made it a guard brigade and then a vanguard battalion of the execution
That sounds
force.
like an awful lot of points.
That's because you have to get 4 of the assassins. That's going to be.
That's 285 points plus the 1,400 plus the 1,200 that I've got with the Custodes is like. Yeah, it means only 600 for a guard brigade, but I can still pull that off, maybe.
Maybe, but you're not going to get anything good with that.
Yeah, that's true.
Axis says he's going to do the narrative.
Oh, cool.
That's cool. Or LVO.
We'll come by the judges' table.
Yeah, and
I might this
your
year,
brother
actually, depending on how I get there, I might bring the Knights and play the Night Joust. Because the Night Joust is
on Friday.
after
Yeah, it's
What if
after
you
day one.
just
Friday.
do one night on
It's
night?
one night.
one night, yeah.
What they do is one night, then they have like 4 people play on each table.
Yeah.
And then the survivors, the side that survives, the 4 that survive,
Yeah.
move on to the next. They keep
And you
doing
can bring
it
either any night you want.
any night
Yeah.
from Forge World or.
I mean, I don't know if
wow.
they'll change that at all with how powerful the Castellan is, or depending on what happens to it in chapter approved.
Well, a Gallant can
Yeah,
still
but
rep
it-
Castellan if it goes first in
Oh
combat.
yeah, if I played
Well,
the Night
you're-
Joust, I'd
you're-
totally take a Gallant.
Remember, you're playing 4 on 4 in the first couple
Yeah.
rounds, so
Yeah.
you have 4. You have 3 other teammates.
John, what you should do is just blow everyone's minds again and bring Canis Rex.
Just bring a Princeps, but it doesn't buff anything.
No,
Shut up.
you bring the Canis Rex because it doesn't count as destroyed till you kill the guy.
Oh, that's true.
And
There's
then he
already a
comes
guy in
in,
the building.
And then he
Yeah.
comes in.
Shh, we gotta edit that out. Crap! God damn it. Why did we just say that live on Twitch?
I'm bringing Canis Rex.
You heard it here first.
It'll be a whole me, you, Danny, and Tom. We'll all have
All bring
Canis
Canis
Rex for our team.
You blew it up. Yeah, I hide in the building.
It
6
ain't
turns
over
away.
until it's over. No, but you said you were building orcs, so what are you thinking?
Just have
for
to
your
make sure
orcs
there's a
list?
hanger on every table.
Okay. Moving on.
And just stay away 1 inch from the edge.
Yeah.
yes.
I don't even know. I just bought all the orc stuff at every store locally. That's more or less what I did.
You gave yourself options.
Such a whore.
Although I'm stocking up on the mech guns because the tractor cannon's really good.
Hold on.
against flyers.
So you're gonna be
How
Death
have you
Skulls?
been playing Orcs since 3rd edition if you
I
had to
didn't
go
say-
buy everything?
I didn't say since. I said in.
in?
Plus, I
John-
sold them all. Same thing with my chaos. I sold everything.
Like, just for example, like you were saying, in a certain edition you played an army. You also make a point of saying you sell an army to get an army.
Hey, I've never claimed to be like an adherent to anything.
Which I wish I could do that, because like right now I'm like, man, I'll probably finish this Custodes off if I sell my Dark Angels right now. And then I'm like, but I don't want to sell them. Because what if the lion comes back?
Yeah, no,
we
attachment.
need the armies in case we ever do streams again, so we have more variety.
That's true.
That's true. And I've got a decent Dark Angels list. It's a little fluffy, but you know, it's still fun to play.
So I don't
Once I
know
finish
yet.
painting the
I know it's
damn
gonna have lots
Hellbusters.
of boys. I am doing Death Skulls, so because that's what I played back in 3rd.
So basically, you're going to be a more shooty orc army then, because Death Skulls is the reroll runs to hit.
Bad Moons is reroll.
Oh, so what's
Death Skulls get 6+ invulnerable, and I get the one where everybody that's infantry has OBSEC. All infantry models have OBSEC instead of just troops.
Ooh, that's really
So
good.
things like Tank Busters, Burner Boys, all that knobs.
Even more bosses.
Yeah.
Wow.
I get it's basically the old.
This is our Zogov.
Get-
That's what the rules call it. It's awesome.
I know
The one thing Dawn of War 3 got right was the orc voice acting.
it's not that hard actually.
It was great. It was great.
So we'll
The
see.
game was terrible.
I haven't-
The voice acting was great.
The Codex is this weekend, so we'll see what it looks like exactly, and then go from there.
Yeah.
I haven't really decided. That's why I'm just buying everything.
Apparently,
Axis, that is incorrect.
no.
I've sold every army I've ever played it, and I've only ever regretted one.
I just heard like this weird.
Yeah, I've only
It's almost
regretted
like
selling my
this
chaos.
Egyptian robot cant from your closet. It sounds like a golden Necron army is waiting like an actual tomb world in your closet right now.
Yeah, if it were more painted, it would be sold already.
You'll regret it when you have that's a well. I mean,
I will not regret when I have grandkids.
no, because I'm not giving them my underpowered 10th edition army. Wow, thanks, Grandpa, for the shitty towel.
With these stupid plastic models, you can't even spring for the holograms.
Yeah. Everyone's playing on those now.
I'm getting buried with mine.
Everyone uses
With all of mine.
Everyone uses Adobe Pro Game Workshop suite now to paint their armies. What's this hand painted
I
bullshit?
have that in my will, so my wife won't sell it after she kills me with suffocation.
Which, of course, we will say in court.
The other thing, one last thing, if we have time. Do we have time?
Sure, why not?
I want to mention, only because it's come up recently, and it's something, I don't want to wait 2 weeks till the next episode is.
Sure.
Recently, if those have been following the competitive page, there was mention of an event that may have
Padded.
padded their numbers.
That sounds like it's quite the hootenanny.
See, you should. When I said stream, I said not our stream. Not. I didn't mean our stream. I meant whatever. I just hate you. So
Why did the whitest person on this stream have to say that too?
hootenanny.
Why do we have to be so stereotypical?
No, I'm just Butters, and I use 50s terms for things. That's just what I do. Holly G. Miller,
Oh,
gang.
man. Okay, continue, Adam.
So
I want to hear the rest of this hoedown.
I hate you so much.
I gotta be ready to be a dad, man. Okay, I'm practicing.
no,
my
you're
Practicing your
there.
dad jokes.
Yeah.
You're there.
Your dad jokes are on point. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, stop practicing. So if those have been following, there's an event on the East Coast that allegedly, I say allegedly because it hasn't been
South, not the East Coast.
South Coast, Southeast,
Ceased.
South. It's all
It was in the
east from
South.
here.
It was in the Bible Belt.
All right, in the Bible Belt. They had two events where there were
God's country.
a lot of drops after
Round one.
Round one.
And for the two events, many of the names are the exact same names.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And the same team.
The same team.
So the reason I bring it up is just as a precautionary tale, because I believe last year there was someone from TL from Canada that got caught.
Doing the same thing.
Was it doing the same
It
thing?
was a very similar thing.
Something similar, and they were banned for a year.
From hosting ITC events.
So we don't know what's going to happen, to be honest. I'm just bringing it up just because it's something to be aware of
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we don't
As
make
we-
any of those decisions.
as we move
It's not our
forward,
thing.
as the ITC moves forward, because it's hard to say it's serious because it's
The prize is large enough
for ITC.
for the ITC overall winner prize is large enough in terms of cash prize that were you to do something that would influence the outcome and it were against what the ITC says, it is a felony.
Yep.
Yes,
Because of the size of the prize.
Yeah, because of the size of the prize.
Not to mention which, even if you're not someone who's doing that, to attend such an event does not look good for you. You know what I mean?
Well, it doesn't, because you can do, like, one of the things you could do if you want it, I guess, depending what they decide, you can almost, like, invalidate the event.
yeah.
So
Right.
you happen to win. I mean, it's
you're-
not your fault.
No. Yeah, Tom goes to an event. It
Moves
gets
to a
logged.
town.
It gets logged as a major. He wins it. Turns out the guy pads it with 10 people to make it a major.
You know what? I would
And
actually
instead of
win a
being-
major because of that.
Yes, and instead of being just
honest.
knocked down to a GT, it could invalidate the entire thing. And now Tom, who just showed up and paid
Yes. Now he's
to
out.
play, is now out his win entirely, whether it's major or GT, because the TO decided to pad the event.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, and then it affects you as a TO, especially if you plan on running events. I'm not saying everyone would do it, but
No.
it's just something to be conscious of. Because
if you're running an event and it crosses your mind that you could just create a fake player, or 3, or it was 17, 19, maybe, I don't know, whatever the number 10 turns out to be.
They're real in my mind, damn
You
it.
decide to make up these players whose names are probably real, right? You probably know the people, but you decide to put them in the event, and they're not actually there, and it gets found out. There are serious repercussions in the ITC to doing so. So don't do that.
Right, you may not think so because it's
because it's plastic soldiers on a tabletop.
Or that's why I don't want to say serious, but it actually is serious. You may not think it,
right?
Because
but it
you don't
is.
see the prize. But if it helps someone to
win that prize ultimately,
because if they get high enough where they're within striking distance and they happen to do well at LVO and they win, they'll be in trouble, or they'll actually have to. It'll be a sticky situation.
They probably won't be in trouble. The TO will end up being the one in trouble
but
because they are the
would
ones
have
who
to
caused
take
the
away-
problem.
You'd be a casualty of war.
Yeah. They would take away the prize from the person who won LVO, and I would assume the person who caused that issue through cheating would get in trouble for it.
Right.
Now, I want to say also, Axis, thank you for subscribing with another Tier 1 sub in 8 months in a row. That's incredible.
Yeah, nice, man. Thank you so much.
And because you did that and you asked a question very well timed after that, I'm going to go with my personal chapter approved prediction, which is drop pods turn 1 and you carry Primaris Marines. I'm sticking by that. I know it's completely wrong, but if it's right, I'm going to be so happy to give you guys all the fingerprints.
My
Smug,
chapter
baby,
approved prediction is that Yanari finally gets the legitimate nerf it deserves because it's going to get the codex it needs.
Ah.
My prediction is we all know knights are going up in some way or another. My prediction is they're not going to do anything to Yanari, but they're going to up the price of certain units.
If they're taking in Yanari detachments?
No, they're just going to up the price because that's too sophisticated for them to do that.
I also predict there will be a massive change to match play.
You think so?
Yes.
Yes, I think there will be a huge.
I agree.
I don't know exactly how.
Power level. It's here.
No, but oh god, I think there will be a big change to how match play works in chapter approved.
I think they're going to change.
Now, is it going to be a match play change that ITC will immediately jump on board with?
Yes.
It'll be
It doesn't
in
matter.
play for LVO. Yes,
Wow. Okay.
for sure.
Is it worth asking what that would look like?
No, I have no
because he
idea.
doesn't
I just
know.
think that it's.
No,
going
I'm not
to be.
saying
I'm
anyone
going
knows.
to act like I know, even though I don't know.
No, I'm not even saying anyone knows or
I'm not
doesn't
even
know.
gonna act
I
like
just
I
can't.
know.
I can't.
I don't know.
Let's put it this way: the fly rule thing came out of left field, so maybe there's another left field.
There's
thing.
there's a lot of issues. Terrain's an issue. The terrain rules suck.
Yes.
The terrain rules are the worst part of 8th edition. Period.
Really.
Yeah, without
Oh,
a doubt,
yeah.
terrain rules are the worst
But
part of 8th
forests
edition.
actually have rules again. What are you talking about, John?
Just stop while you're behind.
I know this from the guy who just got
Annihilated by a hanger with stupid rules.
Yes, he got beat by a hanger.
Again, I don't understand what you're talking about.
You got beat by a piece of terrain. And you're
You got
saying the
beat
terrain
by
rules aren't bad?
No,
MDF beat you.
No, you don't understand. I went 4-1, and then my 6th game, it was a loss
was a
by
blank.
because it was the last game. So I actually went 4-2. It was an unfortunate thing, but I accepted it. I'm not talking about it.
Anyways,
Anything
and there are
black?
several things in 8th edition that need to be changed in terms of match play, and one of them is probably terrain. Now, I don't know if that happens in chapter approved, but I think there's some big stuff.
And the reason I say units is because of things like the Harlequin jet bikes, things like that. So things that GW is seen as maybe overused. And so I don't think they'll do like you and say if in like a Yanari Codex. So that's why I think it'll just be general points adjustments. We'll see the Sisters Codex. I'm curious to see how that looks.
The beta codex.
The beta will be cool.
The beta codex that's already done, but not really.
Which actually might be the answer to the Custodes question I'm having right now.
I could throw Sisters in there.
Yeah. So, I mean, hence
Throw
the
Celestine.
only major purchase decisions I'm making are Custodes because I know I need them anyway. Because I have enough Imperium lying around where I can cobble together a proxy list to practice with at the very least.
Yeah.
So other than the dire warning I give people about running tournaments, because I think we had our first year we were two people shy of a major. We didn't even think about adding.
Didn't even consider just adding 2 people.
Don't do it.
It didn't even cross our minds.
McGruff the crime dog says don't do it.
And this year we weren't that far off either.
Like 10 people, but
I don't think it was because we had more registered.
We had 60 registered.
Yes, we had 60 registered.
And paid, more importantly.
Yes, and more
So
importantly paid.
They still get their money even though they
So
didn't
we
show up.
would have been a major had everybody showed up.
Yes.
when they didn't all show up,
We didn't just put their names in
and nor did it enter our minds to do so.
No, it was just like, oh, we don't have enough. Oh, well.
Right.
See, I ascribe that to not remembering that you could, so much as knowing you could and then choosing not to.
No.
Because we joked about it at lunch.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
See, I mean, I'm sure you. I don't know.
Right.
I'm trying to slander you. Libel you, whichever one.
Whichever one works.
Whichever one is the correct one. I'm not a constitutional lawyer. I'm not 3 beers deep.
Not
Other
trying to
than
overthrow the Senate.
Other than that morning,
I like bear.
be cool, stay full. Anything else? Any final thoughts, John? Any questions? No other
Tom
questions?
just threw out the I like beer. That was my final thought. I like beer.
Yeah, no, I can't.
Yeah, there's really nothing
Can't
locally for us to go to. There's a GT in Arizona, apparently.
I can't go that weekend.
We're
going.
we're
That's
doing
that's my daughter's birthday weekend.
we're
That's
doing
the
a
weekend
longer
of the play for us, so I can't go.
We're doing a longer league at the store to help
We're
people
doing
prep for LVO.
We're doing an LVO league. That's
More
longer.
importantly, it's a longer league because it's over Christmas
Yeah,
when
And
nobody
New
plays.
Year's, Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's.
that should be
those.
part of the rules. If you get to play, then it's just bonus points, just straight.
I would.
I'm
I used to
going to
work
be in
those days,
Hawaii
so
for part of that time.
Uh-oh.
We're leaving to go to Hawaii with my family,
Oh,
the
fun.
day after Christmas. We'll see.
Yeah.
Oh.
Once he said extended family, yeah.
See, I was being
We'll
polite.
see.
I was being
We'll
polite.
see.
I went into work mode again, where I'm like, "Oh, I'm hearing plans, and I'm not going to say what I honestly think about them."
I can say it because it's his family, not her family.
I feel confident if there's enough time away from the extended family, we'll have a good time.
That's usually how it is.
Just, I will say,
I don't even like my own family.
the one
either, so.
we had our.
Or if there's enough alcohol consumed on the beach, we'll invite them.
That's
Yes,
the thing. I was gonna
that's
say, like, I had my positives and my negatives about going on to Hawaii for our honeymoon. The one big positive was I pretty much always had a drink in my hand. It was,
Find out how many Mai Tais I can drink in a day.
the answer, not enough.
Depends how it goes with his family.
I guess not enough.
All right. So other than that, nothing else.
Nothing else.
All right, we'll call it that for a day. For today, don't forget to, if you can, sign up for the Patreon. $5 a month gets you into the Patreon Facebook group.
Super exclusive.
Yeah.
Kanye asked, we said no. Cheap bastard didn't even want to pay $5.
I was going to say no even if he paid.
Almost got to the end.
I know.
Without another.
You know I did that on purpose,
Without
right?
another one.
You know I did that on purpose.
And then even if you don't do $5, if you do less, the
$1 a day.
Tom
Oh no.
Day? Jesus.
I know.
$1 a day.
I mean, we'll take $1 a day if you want to do that. That's fine.
That's like the equivalent of the 99-cent promotion. It looks good, but it's actually basically $1.
We'll record Tom's discussion
His rant.
that he had.
Yeah,
It was a discussion.
It was a discussion.
Nothing was thrown.
Nothing was except words.
Unfortunately, nothing was thrown.
Well, you'll have to be a patron to find out what happened. So,
It involves a monkey, a baseball bat, and a Camaro. Don't ask me how.
If we can get Man Bear Pig, it'll all be good.
Oh,
So,
he's real, okay? He's real.
even if it's less than $5, sign up for that. We'll post that discussion within the next few days. I think we're done.
I
Cool.
think that's
All right.
All
Have
right.
a good night, everybody, and we'll see you in a couple weeks. Yeah.
See you later.